As a father, you dream of playing wiffle ball with your child, getting through the ranks as they get older, going from town to town, tournament to tournament. But that is in the yesteryears. We fast forward, and this man played for a championship pedigree team, the Ones, won a batting title last season, fended off going into relegation. This man is Andrew Leday, a soft-spoken but fierce competitor that if he could complete a good series tonight, he would love to be talked about amongst the greats like Tanek, Gannon, Weber, Briner, Couts, Chen, Dodos, and Seamus. But he's going to have to get through the Snappers team. The Snappers, a very emotional series tonight, as Shane Weber, right after this series, will be undergoing a surgery to repair a knee that he's been having problems with for almost 10 years. He is the second half of the Bash brothers. Those two, between Briner and Weber, have dominated in the 1-2 punch, lead the league, and have multiple records for back-to-back home runs. We'll see how they could do. Are they going to go back into their turtle shell or try to get out of the bottom of the cellar in here in the PLW? My name's Trench Pacone. I'm with my man, Chad Sparkle Phillips. Welcome to PLW. Welcome, PLW Nation. It is Friday night. Chad, I am fired up. How are you?
Oh, doing great tonight, Trench. We got a good one in store for everyone here tonight. These Snappers need to get out of the basement. They're not used to being there. They've got Taylor Briner's cast off finally. He's ready to go, a little sore, but I think he, after watching his BP, might be ready to go here tonight. And this Cajuns team has played as together as any team in this league this season. Top to bottom of the lineup has been productive, and they look to roll that lineup and create some havoc on the bases.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be the last time that we're going to see Weber and Briner together until next season, and they're going to have to do something. They got to get out of this slump right now. I don't even know the last time they were able to put a six-man team that's healthy together in that lineup.
Yeah, no Johnny Castaneda, still the story. Hasn't shown up this season. I don't believe he has any stats right now. And it's tough. No Manny Santillanes tonight as well. They're going to have to lean on guys like Caps and Greg down in the 6-hole tonight. David Harley will be locked in that lineup tonight for sure. You'll see a lot of him. Jonathan Wilson has to have a good night tonight, Trench. He has to step up and pick up for some of these guys that are away tonight.
Yeah, he's got to get that garden glove on nice and tight, do some damage in the box, and, of course, on the bump. But all eyes are going to be on Taylor Briner and Shane Weber. Taylor Briner cast off. He says it's a little tender. It's going to be a few weeks until he's like fully healed, fully powerful, ready to hit some smashes. But during batting practice, he looked primed and ready to go.
Keep an eye on Kiefer McClendon also for the Cajuns tonight. He's been kind of a no-show. It looks like he's unable to make their road games. Remember, in this league, you play all of your home games on the same night of the week, and the Cajuns' night is Friday. And I did see Kiefer down there ready to go tonight. When he's shown up, he's been effective, and just another weapon in that Cajuns' deep lineup there for Sporting right now.
Yeah, speaking of effective, I'm looking at Ryan Roosh right now. We're in that swoosh Roosh headband, and when he gets going on the bump, he's almost unhittable.
Down ballot MVP candidate right now. He's hitting .339, 388 on base percentage, and his ERA of 2.13, 5-3 record, but a whip of .93. Been bit by the home run bug a little bit out there, but he's really been locking it down lately, and he's picked his team up a lot of wins this season.
Yeah, excited to see what this series is going to be as they're getting ready to go. Make sure you get your wiffle ball points in right now, as we already have 125,000 points coming in on the Cajuns, only 45 on the Snappers. You're going to get some good value if you get the Snappers right now.
Yep, looking like about plus 320 right now. That could change and even up a little bit as we go here. Definitely Snappers plus 320 here is a decent bet. I think they can hit Roush. Roush has not seen this team yet. And Roosh.
Yeah.
Still Roosh?
Yeah, that's it.
Damn.
He was born into the Roosh family. It's okay.
Let's get those starting lineups up there for these Snappers if we could. Leading off will be Taylor Briner with that fresh cast off. Shane Weber in the 2-hole behind him, his normal spot. Jonathan Wilson needs to pick it up here a little bit this season. He's in the 3-hole. Brandon Gregg hitting 4th. David Harley Jr. in the 5-hole, hitting just 150 on the season. That's a lot of power behind that 150.
Yeah, hit a couple home runs last series. I saw that.
Yep, and then Greg Kelly looking to get his season rolling here today. He'll be the third baseman and lockdown third baseman at that. Roosh on the mound. ERA 2.13, 5-3 record. Been very strong this season. He's got a save as well. He's come in late, and he's come in early, and he's come in often. And he's been a game changer so far this season.
We'll do that lineup when the Cajuns get up.
Oh, let's rip it off here. We got Andrew Leday leading off. We got Ryan Roosh hitting second. Bo Evans hitting 264 with 3 bombs in the 3-hole. Anthony Michael hitting 258. Be out in the outfield today. Kiefer McClendon. And then Casey Nielsen been bumped down. He was up higher in the lineup most of the season, but their team has really been picking it up. He finds himself holding on down there. 230 average, home run, 8 ribbies. Very balanced offense for this Cajuns team this year.
Yeah, remember Anthony Michael, he used to play for the Snappers. This is kind of a revenge game. He got let go by them, I think, a season ago. He's pretty happy to be picked up by the Cajuns, fitting right at home. Expect good things to happen with Anthony Michael. Then you have Sashi Boba, who, first of all, I want to say, he didn't even know how to subscribe to Twitch. He felt really bad, but when he did, he immediately gifted some subs. And I want to give a big shout out to Sashi right there. And he's stretching it away. Look at that.
Another absence tonight, Trench, from that Cajuns lineup is Will Morris. Doesn't look like he's going to be here tonight, so that should even the playing field a little bit for these Snappers. But, I got the Cajuns as like maybe a 2.5 to 1 favorite to win this series here tonight. Snappers are certainly live.
Yeah. What chain, Sean? What one's chain? I don't see it. Chad, explain to me what it must feel like without talking about yourself too much, because nobody wants to really hear about that. But when you're in the bottom portion of the standings, what do you think the feeling is going on in the Snappers line in their dugout?
Well, I mean, every spot in this league is more important than the spot below it. If you can finish 7th over 8th, there's an advantage to that. If you can finish 4th over 5th, there's a big advantage to that. Each spot has more value.
If I can make $100,000 over $75,000, of course that's important, Chad.
Yeah, but in American sports these days, it's not quite as important. Where the top 10 are equal and the bottom 20 are equal. It's different here. Everything has value. So just getting themselves out of the basement and into the 9 spot, that gives them 1 series at the end of the season to avoid relegation. Whereas the 10 seed gets no chances to avoid that relegation tournament. So you just got to keep fighting out here. There's some really, really good teams right now, and you just got to grab some wins when you can. Ryan Roche on the bump, ready to face Taylor Briner. Let's see what he looks like here, how that left arm is healed up. Play ball.
Hey, let's go, Taylor. Start us off, kid. New hand, new you. Let's go.
Ball 1 outside to Briner, starts it off. Getting ahead in the count in this league is all too important. Taylor rolls one over. Roush scampers off the mound and fires home easily for the first out of the night.
And here is Shane Weber. Everyone, give it up to Shane Weber. This is his last game here at Hideaway Field. Give it up. He is a staple here in the community, just a stand-up guy. Love having him around. Wishing him all the best in his recovery from his knee surgery. What is? Here we go.
Weber is quite the pull hitter, and you see.
Oh, and after the ovation, Chad, he gets a base hit. I love seeing that, and they're going to miss that in the lineup.
Yeah, that's a good spot for Shane to hit the ball because you do have to guard the line against him, and the shortstop can't be over that far. So that's a hit for him all day. He can find that spot.
And here he is, Jonathan Wilson. They call him J-Dub, the only player in the league to wear a garden glove that he gets at the local nursery.
Good cut by Wilson on that first pitch. He saw that well, but that wiffle ball bat is thin and tough to square up sometimes.
And that might drop, but Anthony Michael, he couldn't get there. Kind of went off his hands. Did that touch the wall, Chad?
Yes, Trench. So that's going to be a dirty double off the player. Hands off the wall. 2 bases for all base runners. Second and third. No, 1 out.
You were talking about J-Dub prior to the game and how important his batting would be, and immediately the Snappers are taking advantage of the Cajuns.
Anthony Michael with a really good effort over there in the corner, slid down. He had it in his hands, but he just couldn't corral it. Good slider to the outside there by Roosh.
Yeah, it comes in 3-4 feet of break. Really difficult to locate. That's going to do it for Brandon Gregg.
Ooh, that pitch looked quick, Trench, but reads at 55. A good one by Roosh.
I think the people that made his jersey put an extra G on the end of his name.
Maybe they did. Not a lot of pitchers throw strikes on 0-2 in this league, so a lot of batters kind of are ready for ball one there, and Roosh comes right in, and he comes right back in to get ahead of Harley.
Yeah, Harley popped a couple over the fence last series. Oh, and it goes through.
Looked like that was dirty, too, off of Roosh's body.
David Harley coming alive.
Off of Roosh's ankle for sure. It hit him and then kind of spun off to the right side. It's going to be a dirty single.
J-Dub trying to get a little extra cardio in there, trying to get to home plate as Greg Kelly. He's wearing a little, that shirt's a lot brighter than some of the other snappers. Oh man, he just whispers that thing on the outside tink right there. 0-2.
A little hot there. I think you got to consider crowding the plate a little bit against Roush because you can't leave that outside bar wide open for him. You have to make sure you can reach that pitch. Remember, there is no penalty for stepping on the plate here in the PLW. You can step all the way across there if you need to hit the ball. Good drop ball. Roush gets out of it. A run for the Snappers in the first, though, and that's good for them. Get them rolling tonight. A few hits there.
Yeah, love seeing that. Let's see if the Snappers with Taylor Briner on the mound. This is it's Brandon Gregg going game one.
Greg going game one. Yeah, that's been their way because Greg, again, remember, he's kind of struggled with that walk bugaboo a little bit, and they want to make sure he gets as much work as possible. He's their guy. He's their number 2 pitcher. They're working in, and now with Weber going, he's going to have to, not walk out. And that's by getting him in game one, you get 9 innings in a night. This way, if he does walk out in the 3rd or 4th, they can come right back to him again in game 2 or game 3.
Yeah, you know who he reminds me of? One of your players on the Lightning, Devlin Daniel, just a lefty.
They're very similar builds, similar heights, similar mentalities.
Similar screwballs, except one's coming righty, one's coming lefty. We have had some trade talks about Brandon Gregg, us Lightning here. He's one of the guys we have slightly had on our radar. Boba Fett, thank you for the subscription. Love to see that happen. And you did it with Amazon Prime. Remember, you get a free subscription if you have Amazon Prime to Twitch. Why not use it over here? Every last cent is used to upgrade this production. And boy, it is top-notch over here. And we are just about set to go, as it looks like.
Taylor Briner hitting 185, 231 on base percentage, 1 homer, 7 RBIs, not Taylor Briner numbers. He did promise some type of 300 average with that one hand. It did not come to fruition. He's got a lot of work to do to get those stats back up for the season. I'm sure his goal right now is, maybe to get it to 300. We're about a third of the way through. He's hitting 180. He'll have to hit about 400 to get that average up to 300 over the rest of the season. But
yeah, not an easy task to do as Brandon Gregg's going to face Andrew Ledet right now, leading in average and on base percentage, I believe.
He's hitting 513.
Wow.
602
That's
on base
insane.
percentage. Both lead the league.
He's a real smooth swing. Doesn't put a lot of power in it. Kind of lets the bat and the force do its thing.
7 doubles, 5 homers, 21 RBIs up near the league lead as well.
Yeah, remember, he won the batting title last year. Immediately finds himself in advantage here. 3-0 count. There's Meg Patterson. I want to say hi to her. And that's going to be walk number 1 on the first batter of the game. And that spells trouble immediately for Brandon Gregg. Why is that, Chad?
Because if you walk a second batter, then you're no longer eligible to pitch in this game. Oof. You see Andrew Ledet's skills up there. He will not swing at pitches that are not going to hit the pan. The most important skill to have in this league, you've got to swing at strikes. Ryan Roosh sees ball 1. Greg's going to have to lock in quickly here. It's ball 2. We got Weber out in left field. We got David Harley out in center. Greg Kelly at third. Caps playing shortstop. Taylor Briner at second base.
I'd probably go red light here as he's thrown 6 straight balls.
He recognizes that was going to be a strike, takes a kind of a half cut at it almost, it looked like. Trying to go the other way maybe there.
He's feeling it. Remember, he had a very, very stellar performance his last series.
It's going to fill the count up, and Greg's going to have to come in here.
Yeah, if I'm Brandon Gregg, you do not want to lay a cookie in to Ryan Roosh tonight, as he does have some power. And that's exactly, he goes outside 2 consecutive walks, and J-Dub's immediately going to be called in to go on the bump. And there's Kirby Bucket firing out there to the pitcher's mound. It's a good night for Kirby. Friday night here in Las Vegas. Probably go down to the Strip after this series. See if you could pick up some wiffle ball honeys. You didn't really want to bring in J-Dub in the first inning, but he's going to have to eat up some portion of those innings in this game. But even still, if J-Dub can't find his mojo right here, imagine him walking out in the first inning or 2, and then Weber or Briner might have to come in and take up some innings.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world, to be honest with you. I mean, giving up a bunch of runs here is a lot worse. Hopefully Wilson can wiggle his way out of this jam and only give up a run here and keep the leverage in this game. And, if he walks out in the second or third, it's okay because Briner can come in and finish it off. Let's check out the innings pitched distribution for the Snappers this season. Weber 35, Briner 28, Wilson 22, Gregg 19. That's the only 4 people that have thrown for this team.
Wow.
And they're losing Weber. So they're going to have to find a different number 4 pitcher starting next week. And I'm not even sure who that is. Maybe it's Jesse Capps. They've shown a complete hesitancy in using him on the mound. It's certainly not Manny or Harley. It's probably not Greg Kelly. Not Labrado. So I don't know who they're going to end up going to for that number 4 coming up for this middle of the season. Here's Wilson, though.
He's got that sweeping slurve. That's the Wilson pitch. And it's when you see that for the first time in the game, you can't recognize it very well.
Yep. He's tricky. Kind of the same type of build as Osgood and Walker, both just mixing up 5 different sliders, changing the tilt on their arm, changing the break of their wrist, and creating 6 different pitches with the same grip and the same pitch, really. Bo gets into one there, but he couldn't wait back just enough. He tried to. He saw that pitch well. Wilson kind of hung that one.
Yeah, I'd expect something a little bit faster in the fastball range on this pitch. And that's exactly what he does, and Bo knows, and Bo goes.
Yeah, good call there by the umpires. He offered at that pitch. That is the requirement for a check swing. Did he offer at the pitch? And he certainly made an attempt to hit that and tried a little too late to pull it back. Here's Anthony Michael.
Yeah, the man with 2 first names. Let's see what happens right here. Had a good series his last series.
258 average, 379 on base percentage, 2 homers.
Those are good numbers, Chad.
They're solid. That's about the average in this league, right about there. OPS 720.
Yeah, good take right there. Low and inside, bringing the count to 2-0.
This is a spot where good hitters in this league feast. Remember, you do start with a strike, so it is 3-0. When the first strike comes, that'll show 2 strikes. So it's really a 3-1 count right now.
A lot of room on that right side. And Anthony Michael right to Shane Weber. Gets a hold of that one, though.
They're going to miss Weber in left field just as much as they're going to miss him on the mound starting next week. He's an excellent outfielder. He won a Gold Glove in season 1.
You're right. Brandon Gregg's probably going to have to get some reps out there on defense, as Kiefer McClendon was picked up in the tryouts by Andrew Leday.
I think what's going to happen is that Brandon Gregg will go to second base and Taylor will go to the outfield. But Taylor expressed some concern to me that now that his cast is off, he's more concerned about the injury to his wrist because the cast was protecting him. Now it's wide open out there, and he's a little scared of landing on it. So he said he was going to stay in the infield tonight. Wilson a little scared of Kiefer, and I think he just admitted it out loud to him, Trench.
Yeah, you don't want to do that on a live broadcast for everyone to know. Oh, he lays a duck in there. Kiefer's got to swing on that bad boy.
Wow, he almost made it clear he was going to lay one in there, too. Wilson, honest man out there on the mound. Let's see what he has on 3-2 here in a big spot. 2 outs. Good sweeping slider, and he swings at ball 4. Gets out of a jam. And those 2 walks by Brandon Gregg don't really come to hurt them.
Wow. Way to get out of that inning for Jay Garden Glove J Dub. We're going to go into the top of the second. Top of the second is brought to you by Leilani Acuna, our official realtor of the PLW. Whether you're buying or selling a home, you now have a realtor trusted by PLW players and family. You could connect with Leilani on Instagram. See that little Instagram sign right there? I think if you click it, it goes straight to her page and you immediately purchase a home.
Wow, just get a home.
You don't have to do anything. You're pre-qualified, and you just have a home delivered to your house.
Sweet, I need a home.
We got some. There's Scotty Burley rocking that Canon 350. I really don't know what kind of camera that is, but I threw it out there.
Yeah, no, he's one of the photographers for the PLW. Photographers. Yeah, that's a hard word.
Is it?
Sometimes. He's been really working hard, getting some good shots of everybody. You can see that Vader's team page on Instagram is probably the one that's the most...
Oh, yeah, they're really blowing up their social media presence.
That's correct. And
that's what every team needs, somebody dedicated to their team like that. They're the most recognizable team right now in the PLW as Taylor Briner up to bat for the second time tonight.
Both teams bat 6 in the first inning, so we will be right at the top of the lineup here in the second inning. Snappers were able to sneak one across. Cajuns left them loaded. Look out. Oh, Roush with a good play. Squares himself up nice to that. Throws it home in plenty of time.
Yeah, he's got those knee pads on.
He's probably...
Shane's ready to do it every inning. He wants the total farewell tour. He's really milking that, isn't he?
I think that Roush has also been the best outfielder in the league this season, Trench, and that's saying a lot out here. We have a lot of talent in the outfield. We've had a lot of great plays, but Roush has been the most consistent outfielder. He's made 3 or 4 just full layout plays to save big spots, and he has provided more WAR in this league than probably anybody to this point as a 3-way player. Very surprising. You saw that Lede went and made that trade to go get him. Good throw by Sashi Boba for the second out of the inning. What was that trade again? It was Roosh and Michael for... Stepna.
Stepna, yeah.
And Stepna's been a great addition to the Vaders, as you saw in his last couple of series, providing extremely good defense in the outfield. That's probably the second best outfielder in the league right now. It's close. There's a lot of guys can have their name in that hat. And Dobbins has had a great year out there, too. But those two guys, Dobbins kind of blends in with a really strong team, and these guys have stood out for teams that need somebody to stand out. Dobbins making diving catches in 9-1 games is great, but that one Roush bobbles off of him now. That's going to be a hit.
Under 5 seconds right there.
Come watch your start, Matt. Come watch your start. Play that replay again, guys.
We're going to have to go to replay on that.
You're wicked late. You can see that clock didn't start, and it started really late. One of the umpires had 4-2-2. Why don't we time it again, Matt? Why don't you just come time it again?
I mean, it came to the pitcher fast. I don't know, man. We do have 3 umpires right here. Chad, even though he's a commentator tonight, he is
Give
the guy.
the replay one more time. One more time on that replay for us.
Here, Chad, right now, this is what he does. This is what he's good at. He's not good at much, but this is one of the things he's really
late
good
on
at.
that replay.
Chad goes crazy when times aren't connected like that.
Yeah, the 3 stopwatches were way off.
I had it 5 Mississippis and another half Mississippi.
I mean, you probably should just go right in the dungeon and time the thing.
Yeah.
They still get the replay rolling.
Yeah, they're
get
gonna
a
have
stopwatch.
They're going to have to go into the dungeon right now.
The 3 umpires weren't on the same page on that play there. We got a couple of new guys down here that haven't umpired yet tonight. Friday nights have been really tricky to get our stream team fully completed. It's obviously much more important that we have a Skycam operator and somebody downstairs running the show,
Yeah.
and then the umpires are, the 7th and 8th volunteers, and it didn't happen tonight. So we have a couple of guys that haven't done it before have stepped in. It's all good. We have video here. We do have Matt Patricus on the case. He's one of our top guys, and he's going to get the time right on this, and we'll see what happens. I feel like it's probably 5-1 or 5-2.
Yeah, we're going to have to wait just a minute. But I want to welcome all our viewers to Hideaway Field tonight. We got a good one brewing between the Cajuns and the Snappers.
What'd you get?
What are you finding out, Chad? They're looking at
5-2. Yep, 5-2 is the correct time. It's going to be an
5-2.
error. And, oh, yeah, cool. Scott has Dobbins went in with the stopwatch and retimed it on the stream and got the time right as we were trying to do it up here. So we got the call right. That's all that matters.
This one might go. Oh, I probably would have let it go another 6 inches,
He had
Chad.
it. He had it.
He has to look at the time there.
So you guys can see that cheap line out in front. That plays as exactly like the first and third base lines, and the ball is not fair until it gets to it. And great pitch by Roosh. Gets out of the jam. Cajuns handle that little controversy very well, and they take care of business. And that's what you got to do. Everything's not going to go your way all the time. Umpires are human, and we try and get most things right, and we do end up getting things right.
Yeah, you're like half a human, though. You're mostly stats and robot, and then you're a little bit of sparkles.
Little sparkles. Chad Phillips here, Trench Pacone here. We got a beautiful Friday night here, 80 degrees in Las Vegas, Nevada. A nice calm breeze kind of swirling around out here. Should be a very good night of wiffle ball.
Yeah, both these teams right now just kind of feeling each other out, and this is a very important series for the Snappers. They're right down in the cellar with you guys, the Lightning. And this could be a really breakout series for the Snappers, especially with the loss of Weber. They need to catch a couple more wins, knowing that they're going to be at a loss defensively on the mound and, of course, offensively.
Yeah, they got to pick it up here tonight. They got this 1-0 lead, and Jonathan Wilson on the mound. Brendan Gregg already walked out. Wilson going to be looking to lock this down here, and Casey Nielsen in the 6 hole. I guess my fault. I said that they batted 6, but I guess they only batted 5. We do have the 6 hole up for Casey Nielsen. I'm not sure he's ever seen Wilson in his career. J-Dub has lost a good amount of weight, and he's working hard out there to lose a little more. He looks a lot better this season, Trench. He's got a lot more balanced, and he looks fierce. And I expect him to have a big second half of this season for the Snappers team.
With Casey Nielsen, you just never know which Casey Nielsen you're going to get each series. Is it going to be the guy that's disciplined, in the box, getting base hits and doubles, or the person that's not seeing the ball too well?
He's an opposite field hitter, but Harley is right over there. Good piece by Nielsen. I've mentioned it before up here, but Nielsen was a guy that I should have grabbed my Lightning. He was out there on the just free agent market for a good month or two, and I should have latched onto him when I had a chance. He's been a very good ball player for this team.
Yeah, you can't wait for opportunities here in the PLW. You have to strike when you see something good as Andrew Leday up to bat his second time here.
Great pitch by Wilson right on double nickels. He showed Leday a little something different by stepping the opposite direction away from his body and to the first base side to release that pitch. It's hard to fool Leday twice, though. They walked to lead off the first.
Yeah, 2-2 count right now, and this is advantage Andrew Leday.
Look at Leday, just put it where they're not. Trench, he does it half the time he's up there. He just finds a hole and he hits it exactly where he wants to hit it.
Watch him wait on that pitch. An unbelievable piece of hitting by Andrew Leday as he just keeps tacking on average and on-base percentage.
A couple of weeks ago, he knocked a couple straight singles to the open third base side, and then the next at bat, they moved over there against him, and he put it right back exactly where they came from. He's just so adept at hitting it where he wants.
And And right now, Ryan Roosh, he's getting a little bit of that energy that he's been lacking offensively, and he's going deep center field. Weber right there, though, for out number 2. Earlier in the season, Ryan was just having trouble making good contact. He's finally coming around with his bat. Good to see him get some
Trench, he's hitting 339. So you saying he had a tough start to the season?
Is he? He had a
389.
Are you sure?
Is that no 339? 339.
He had that. They had that crazy series against. Who did they play? They just totally. Was it you guys?
No. We opened the season with the Cajuns and played 3 low-scoring games against them.
He had a really good series. I think he had 3 home runs and walks and a few singles. But Bo Evans up to bat right now, 1-2 count.
It doesn't look like Bo's seeing Wilson very well here. Wilson's very tricky to pick up, very unnatural baseball movement on his ball. People just aren't used to it. This Cajuns team filled with mostly rookies and second-year players. They don't have many OGs from the PLW on their team. I don't actually think they have any.
It was when the Cajuns played the Owls, and they were just outmatched the Owls, and the Cajuns just put a bunch of runs on them, and those things happened.
Every player, they have the most Taco League guys probably. I mean, Sashi was a Taco League guy. Nielsen was one of the best players in the Taco League for a little bit.
Was Boba playing in the Taco League as well?
Boba played a little bit in the Taco League, and Anthony Michael played in the Taco League.
Very important to get your reps in down there in our AAA, and it really, really shows.
Oh, Trench, if we were to compare the drafted players and the players that come up from the AAA League, the drafted players look like they are more talented individuals in general, but the Taco League players, the AAA players, are outperforming those drafted players.
Yeah, they're wiffle ball players. That's why.
They're getting the reps, Trench. They're just getting reps that these guys like, Josh Towers wasn't able to come in and just dominate like maybe he expected to do so. And it's tricky. You have to come in and get those reps. And Josh Towers did play a bunch in the Taco League too, and he was showing a lot of good promise this last week with some of his contact. It's definitely an adjustment out here in the PLW.
Man, Roosh has that sweeping curve. He very gently lets it go out of his arm, that arm slot, and it just comes in at a great angle, and there's not much you could do with it. Okay, we got you.
Yeah, I see.
Harley with a long fly ball, or deep fly ball. Anthony Michael, that kind of died back and was coming right back to the infield.
Yeah, dropping out of the air like a bomb by the end there. Tricky to pick those high pop-ups up because they move at different speeds coming down. They're moving quick and then they slow down.
And GK Rabbit goes to McClendon, gets a good piece of that. And he's one of our fan favorites. He's usually our technical director, production guy, making sure everything that you guys see is up and running and top-notch. People love to see him get a hit as Taylor Briner now comes up to bat with two outs, top of the third. Somebody's going to have to call it. Casey backpedaling. And for out number 3, this game is cruising along, Chad.
You can really see Roosh working that slider inside to righties and jamming them up and not letting them get any extension on the ball, and they're just kind of punching it up in the air.
Yeah, he's got one of the better slide pieces in the PLW.
Nice late break.
Yeah, and when like I said pre-broadcast, when he's feeling it very, very difficult to get a hold of, and it's showing, Snappers only have 1 run so far.
Yep, first inning they strung 3 hits together, scored 1 run off of them, and been quiet since. We move into the bottom of the third. I believe we're going to have Anthony Michael leading off.
I want to talk to TikTok real quick as I see a bunch of viewers on there. Come on over to Twitch. Multiple camera angles, instant replays. You can bet wiffle ball points. Hang out with me and Chad in the commentating booth. A lot of fun we have. Twitch.tv/Premier Wiffle. Make it happen. Also, if you have Amazon Prime, after you set up that app, you get a free subscription.
Every month, right?
Every month,
Every month. Yeah, Amazon Prime gives you 1 free...
1 month. Yeah,
just
1 month.
One every month. Yeah, one time every month. You can just keep connecting that Amazon Prime account to your Twitch Wiffle Ball account, and boom, you're in like Flint.
Love it. Here's Anthony Michael.
Wilson, one of the better pitchers here at mixing his speeds up. He's got to find that top end too, though, Trench. He's got to come with that 58 once in a while.
He's got to be careful. Anthony Michael known to go low.
That's hit high and deep. Weber backing up. It's gone. Home run. Anthony Michael ties this game up.
What did I just tell you? He likes to hit those low balls, and that's exactly what J-Dub just threw to him, and Anthony Michael, rounding third, ties this game up. I've just seen Anthony Michael hit so many balls down there in that left corner, inside corner, that he just pokes it like a pitching wedge.
He got a good piece of that one, Trench. 'Cause you had to get a lot of that at the height he hit it at to get it out of here. It was a decent pitch, I think. I didn't actually see the replay, but Wilson got that where he wanted to, and Michael just muscled it out of here.
You better go back to the film room.
Good eye. Good eye.
Here's Kiefer. Gets a little piece of that.
That's what he needs to throw a little bit more. He's kind of keeping it in his pocket. He's got to throw that fast curve.
Tries to come back for the inside bar. Didn't really get any break on that one.
Good hold.
Takes it just outside. A pitch is kind of going through the strike zone. If it was, a real baseball game, it kind of passes through, but that strike zone being behind you misses outside.
Goes left. Greg Kelly right there. Good scoop by Kelly. Makes a good throw to the backstop in time. He kind of short hopped it, and it just...
Hey, it's good to see him use his hands on that one,
yes.
Because if he tried to body that one, it could have kind of squibbed away. It was already hit kind of slowly, and he might have run out of time, but using your hands is important. Sometimes deciding when to block, when to use hands is a big decision for infielders.
Yeah, oh, look at that! Slaps it right back to J-Dub. Incredible play by GK Rabbit on the third base side. And remember, he used to play like sub-professionally for the Las Vegas Aqueducts soccer team out here in some AAA soccer club or whatnot, and he's got good hands.
That ball hit harder, and as I'm talking about it, you see him go to the other method to stop that one and kind of just bat it back and contain it in his infield. Lets one of his teammates clean up the trash for an easy second out on a very well-hit ball.
You know how Tom Gannon had that tutorial of how to throw pitches?
Yeah.
Maybe GK Rabbit needs to have a little, tutorial of how to field ground balls.
Maybe.
I'd take it. I'll always try to learn from the best.
You can see that last pitch coming in at 56 on the outside bar was a beautiful pitch by Wilson, but 55 or under to get a called strike.
Shal, thank you so much for your subscription. We see you. Welcome to PLW Nation.
Ooh, you don't see Leday take many 3-1 swings like that.
And that was ball 4.
You think it was? I couldn't tell.
Yeah, I think it was coming in. But, you know what? A lot of movement right there. Another walk. 3 times he's been up, 3 times he's been on, Chad.
Yeah, his on-base percentage climbs from 602 to like 624 or something like that. Just
why is
insane.
he so difficult to get out?
Insane. He's hitting like 525 with a 630 on-base percentage.
Man.
Running away.
Lot of season left, though.
Check swing there, confirmed.
And remember, Chad, he had that one series where he struck out like 8 times. You remember that?
Yes, I do.
And he's still putting up incredible numbers.
Yep. It's hard to be good every night, Trench.
Yeah, but I mean, that was just a total anomaly. Good eye by Ryan Roosh as it goes to 3-0, and J-Dub is in trouble.
Warm up the bullpen.
He hangs one right in there to him, throws him a little cookie. It was probably ball 4. Roush waits back, and fists it over into right field. Very well done by Roosh. Going to go first to third. Leday, 2 outs. We're to Bo Evans. Big spot for Bo here, Trench.
Yeah, runners on the corners. 2 outs. Bottom of the third. Game's tied 1-1.
That's Bo chasing again.
Yeah, a little high and outside.
Don't think he has 2 walks. The starter walked 2. Wilson just walked his first here.
Tries to gas him up a little bit. Oh, my God. Throws a 40-mile-an-hour dead ball. Evans, swing, miss, inning over.
I don't think Wilson threw one strike to the last 4 batters of that inning. I don't actually think he threw a strike, but these hitters in the league, it's hard to stay patient all the time. Your approach is so important out here. If you can't get up in the count, you're in trouble to begin with, and then if you can't lay off of balls when it's 1 and 2, you're just a dead duck.
Yeah, speaking of dead duck, I was talking to Andrew Leday before the game, and he doesn't even know if he'll be able to pitch tonight. He has some elbow soreness, and he's hoping that his guys could go the distance, and he doesn't have to go out there.
Leday's only thrown 13 innings this season for his Cajuns, and the team whip is 1.25 or 1.3, and Leday's whip is 2.03.
Wow.
He has clearly been the worst pitcher of the 4 or 5 they've used this season. If you told us that before the season, we would have thought the Cajuns were in a lot of trouble, but not so fast. Ryan Roosh to the rescue. And Sashi Boba has been to the rescue as well. Sashi's received some nice run support in a few games, and he's really held those leads down, pitched complete games. We'll see him, I'm guessing, in game 2.
Roosh is really feeling it, man.
Good pitch again. Jams up Weber a little bit up high. Weber's a good high ball hitter, though. Weber's just a good hitter in general.
I mean, I've seen him hit balls from his shoes to his shoulders to everywhere. He's very powerful, very patient.
He foul tips that into the zone. That one will be dropped by the catcher. If he fouls it into the zone again, he will strike out. Good. You can see these guys are not taking very good swings against Roush. They're not seeing the ball well. They're a little lost.
I have to agree with real racing roots right there. Roosh really becoming the complete player ever since the trade. Because before he was traded, he really didn't get the offense that you'd need to have. And since the trade, he's really, really hitting the ball very well.
Weber's ACL is torn. It's been torn for a long, long time. He's been playing through it. He re-aggravated it in October or November, I want to say. He's just been toughing it out. But he showed me before the game he's got some grinding parts in that knee right now, and it's time to get it cleaned up, and he'll be out for, probably 4 or 5 months is my guess.
Man, what a decent little pitch sequence from Ryan Roosh. I think a lot of it has to do, he might have been stressed out. He had a pregnant wife, dealing with that ever since the baby's been born. He's been on fire.
He has been great this past month and a half, for sure. Brandon Gregg steps in the box. Batting in the 4-hole here. 2 quick balls to him. I don't believe Roosh has a walk yet. Or did he walk the first batter of the game? No, that was the other side, right? Yeah, no rocks for Roosh. Some of the snappers giving Roosh a hard time about his knee pads as he throws ball 4.
Where did he get those knee pads?
I don't know. Shouldn't they be under the pants? Do they have to be over the pants?
Maybe it would irritate his skin. He might have some allergies. I don't know. Here's David Harley, 2 outs, runner on. Top of the 4th here. Game tied 1-1.
A little bit of a lunging swing there. That ball's a foot outside when it's halfway to the batter, and then it's coming back to that outside corner. Tough to get a good beat on.
High and outside. Goes down swinging.
Hard and outside there. That was a hard high riser and very tough to square up when thrown at that velocity.
Kind of got a little pitcher's duel going, Chad. Each one of them giving up only 1 run going into that 4th inning. And somebody's got to strike real soon if they want to take this game number 1.
I think we're due for some extra innings here tonight. These 2 teams feel...
You can't say that on a tie ball game when it's already the 4th inning and then you're jumping into I think it's going to be extra
I feel like the whole night is going to
Come
be
on.
closely contested, and when that is the case, one of the games ends up needing a little bit of extra time.
I get
to
it,
be
but you have to
decided.
make that prediction prior to the game, Chad. You can't
only
call
the
those
4th,
out.
Trench. It's only the 4th.
I know, but the game goes quick.
It's going very quick right now. Both pitchers are locked in. Both pitchers do have 1 walk, though, so they're going to be looking, and especially still this early in the game, Wilson needs to come right out with strikes. But Briner ready to come in if any sign of trouble shows its face.
Good take by Anthony Michael right there. Slurve goes all the way outside.
Where does it say how many viewers we have here, Trench? I don't see that on the screen.
Yeah, we used to be able to see that. Now we can't see it as much. It's Friday night.
It's got to be. I'm going to guess there's 437 viewers right now. It's just a...
Not yet.
No?
People are getting home. They're getting situated. They got it. Anthony Michael to the left side. It's batted down. Briner's going to have to hurry. And it goes over the backstop, and that's going to be a two-bagger right there, Chad.
2 base error there for sure. Might be able to be a single there, Matt, almost. No, yeah, single, and that's what the score is calling it, a single, and then a throwing error to get him to second base.
333 viewers. We're going to eclipse 500. Old Trenchy's going to get TikTok over to Twitch. Oh, man. Double nickels. J-Dub comes out. Puts Kiefer McClendon down 0-2.
Yeah, Turtles, I let Bruce pitch once. It didn't really go very well. But I'm going to get him back out there again. Don't worry. Wish we could get some runs, and then we'd have some room to play with, and I can get Bruce out there. Every game is zip in the fifth. It's hard to get the big fella on the mound.
That was a good pitch by J-Dub right there.
Leadoff error, Trench. Those wiffle gods might be a little angry right now.
Yeah, that was a rare error by TB7 as he claims a victim on the Wilson Slurve 53 coming in. McClendon's going to have to sit down.
That was a great pitch. Totally froze him up. Casey in the 6 hole. I do like this. I do like this spot for him. Look for a base hit right here, Trench. Put the Cajuns up on top 2-1. Good take there. He finds himself up in the count 2-1. Wilson with 1 walk already. Gonna have to think about throwing a strike right now.
Yeah, I'd go straight after him.
No, it's not there.
No cookies coming out of my bag right here. You got Briner and Webb behind you if need be.
He's looking for the sign. Lede probably gives him the green light. We'll see here what Wilson decides to do. I'd be careful. A good little floater to the top half of the zone. Not what Casey was looking for, and we're full.
Yeah, I think you have to go green light right there on a pitch like that. See the snappers on their toes, knowing it's a 3-2 count. Ball's coming in a little bit harder. Exit velo, lot stronger.
Casey dribbles one over to Caps. Caps juggles it a little bit, but has plenty of time. Makes an easy throw for the second out of the inning. And I would just consider putting Lede on here. I mean, it might happen anyways if they pitch to him, but this is a tough spot for the snappers here. Roosh is on deck.
A lot, and hold on, they're calling timeout, getting their defensive set up. If I'm Andrew Lede, I'm looking left field. There's a lot of room down that third base slide, and then when he throws that slurve, Lede can wait on it.
He certainly can. Jesse might be baiting him a little over there. Just misses down. Does have first base open. A walk is not a bad play here. Taylor Briner coming in and facing Roosh sounds like a better matchup to me than Wilson here against Lede. You got to trust your entire team in this league. A walk is the play here. So let's see if Wilson understands. Lede gets something he can handle there, but fouls it back.
That was going to go right up the pipe and score Anthony Michael. Instead, foul tip evens up the count 2-2.
Jesse kind of dancing around like a monkey out there at shortstop. Trying to keep Lede off his toes, not show him where the hole's going to be. We're full.
Lede just recognizes the pitch almost immediately.
Wilson regroup, asking Taylor what he should throw.
I like what you said. I'd rather see a Taylor versus Roosh than a 3-2 count against Leday right here.
Yeah, be smart, Jonathan.
And he does it, and Leday goes left side.
Oh, couldn't keep it fair. Just got on the hands a little too much. You see Leday shooting at that open field over there, just missing.
You could see Taylor and J-Dub talking about that one. Taylor's like, what are you doing, man? You can't do that. Lucky that didn't score.
Trench, the problem is you can't do anything right here. There's nothing you can do to Andrew Leday that he's not ready for at this point. So Wilson has to come up with something down deep here. And he kind of hangs it. But I guess it was a pretty good pitch, and Weber makes an easy catch. And the Snappers are through 4, tied at 1.
We're going to go into the top of the 5th inning, Chad. I'm Trench Bacone, Chad Sparkle Phillips. Game number 1, we got a tight one, 1-1. Remember, we play a 3-game set. I want to welcome all our viewers, whether they're coming over from TikTok or if you guys have been a mainstay here in the PLW Nation here on Twitch. Beautiful night for Wiffle, Chad.
Gorgeous, man. Absolutely gorgeous out here. 80 degrees. It's cooled down to about, high 60s, maybe 70 degrees still here. Sun is setting, and it's a lovely, lovely night for wiffle ball.
Yeah, make sure you give a big thumbs up and shout out to the stream team day in and day out, Monday through Friday for years, have been coming here making this production second to none. So make sure you give a big shout out to these guys in the chat.
Kyle Lohman and Cody Runnels down in the dungeon. We got Trevor Bauer up on Skycam. Matt Patricus here. Head umpire Scott has Dobbins umpiring with him.
Trevor Bauer is kind of making himself a little home up there in Skycam 1.
Yeah, he said to me before the game, it's like telling the story. It's like telling a little story up there, trying to,
It's a beautiful story.
catch
that
the
he said
drama,
that.
catch the action that, is being talked about and shown, and he's excellent at it. It's good to have him up there. Greg Kelly works that count to 2-2. He punched one out into left really nice last time. Kiefer made a nice catch. Got to go with that one.
No way. It comes back. It went foul and then spun back fair. It looked like a foul ball at first.
Oh, it's all spin. Did hit the edge of the carpet there maybe a little bit. Gave it a helpful kick with that spin. Carpet found the spin, and then unlucky for Greg Kelly, first out. Here's Taylor. Roush better be careful. He's seen him a few times now. First pitch strike so important out here. The hitter's confidence rises as each ball comes in.
Sansone, you're talking it's mid-60s. It's 83 degrees out, Chad. I'm sweating up here, and you're talking about having some hot chocolate. Yeah, you'll get it one day. 2-0.
It's not 83, is it?
It's warm. It's not in the 60s, though.
I got 76, actually.
All right.
76. A little warmer than I thought.
2-2 count. Top of the 5th, one out here. And you could see Taylor Briner kind of clutching his left hand. I was talking to him earlier again, and he says when he hits the ball and misses and just foul tips it, it kind of just rings up his wrist a little bit. That thing's got to heal up.
Yeah. Foul tip into the zone. Catcher will drop that one.
You could see him grimacing again. Do you think maybe he cut off his cast? Did he even go to the doctor? I could see him, because he's a rock climber too. He might have just cut it off.
Yeah, just decided, hey, it's time. I'm done with this thing.
His team needs him.
A little late there. Doesn't look like the Taylor Briner we've seen for the last 3 seasons with that, that big pop in his left arm.
Yeah, but at any time he could emerge.
You see him foul his second foul tip into the zone. It's 2. Yeah, he foul tipped 2 balls into the pan with 2 strikes. Catcher secures that second one. Taylor gets all of his power from his left forearm, Trench. That front forearm, and you see Weber knock a single into right. He uses that front forearm to pull, and then drive the ball with it. And that's kind of what broke on him. So using his right hand, yes, his right hand is his strong hand, and he did have a decent bid with his one hand for a good period of time. But at the same time, he's not getting that power. He just had some good discipline still and some decent accuracy and hand-eye. But without that left forearm, he struggles a little bit. Wilson not struggling. Hit
that
well
gone?
deep, gone!
J-Dub, the Garden Glove hero, tosses his bat to Roosh.
I said Wilson needs a big night tonight, and there he is, a 2-run bomb to put his Snappers up by 2 late here in game number 1.
Good smack down by J-Dub. That went out in a hurry. That one's going to sting. And from one wife to another, they're dueling it out here in the chat.
Brandon Gregg looking to go back-to-back with him there. Swings at a bad pitch down. Gets himself down to 0-2 here. Roush gets the dribbler back to him. Makes a play, but Jonathan Wilson with a 2-out, 2-run smash. Puts the Snappers up 3-1 here in the 5th. 6 outs to work with for those Cajuns here. Can they do anything, Trench?
Yeah, they could definitely do some things, especially if you have Andrew Leday in your lineup. I'm curious, what was the count when that pitch came in? Was it like 1-2? Was it 0-2? I'm curious to what he threw right there to J-Dub on that count. I felt like he probably could have messed with him a little bit more outside the zone. That was right in his wheelhouse, and that's exactly what J-Dub does right there. But he's on the mound right now. He's going to have to face the person that just gave up the home run, Ryan Roosh.
This is going to be the end of the 3rd and 4th time through the lineup against Wilson here, so they've seen him. You start to understand what he's trying to do out there a little better, and look for a couple of hits here and a rally, and Taylor having to come in to put the fire out. That's not going to start a rally, though. Not a very good swing on a pitch that was away from him. Dribbles it off the end of the bat out to Wilson, and he's 5 outs away from winning game number 1. Bo Evans here. Moved up to the 3 hole, as high as he's hit in the lineup this season. Been mostly in that 4 and 5 hole, and Wilson throws a gem on the inside bar. A little floater.
Yeah, I'm reading one of the comments in the chat. Remember, Andrew Leday was on the ones. Can you imagine him in that lineup right now?
I know. It's not even fair. It's not even fair. Who comes out of the lineup? Is Dobbins the guy that comes out? Is Spurrier the guy that comes out? I mean, they're both kind of on fire, and I don't know who they even pull out of the lineup. Maybe Goot. Look at Wilson just finish off Evans with 2 unhittable floating sliders, both catching the inside bar. 2 quick outs as Wilson.
I know you don't know this feeling, Chad, because you've never hit a home run in PLW, but after you hit a home run and then you go up and have to pitch next, you got a little bit more mojo, a little bit more energy. There's nothing you could really comment on that. I'm just going to say it from my experience.
Perfect.
And Gannon saying if they had Leday, they wouldn't have Bird.
Oh, yeah, there you go, Tom. Bird is the word.
2-0 count. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. The Snappers jumped on top. 2-run lead with that J-Dub home run. 2-0 count. And Anthony Michael, you see Shane Weber right there. He went to his right side because that ball looked like it was going straight towards him, and then it flares all the way to the right. Wow. A lot of movement on that hit. But it brings up the tying run. Kiefer McClendon. Good swing by Kiefer right there. Yeah, we try to read the chat. It moves fast. Remember, we have to watch the game. There's another chat that we have to read. We're talking to TikTok. We're looking up stats. These commentators up here. A lot of brain movement. One-two count. J-Dub can't believe that he got a piece of that one. Are you okay, Chad? I saw that you had to remove yourself from the booth. You have a pistachio in your throat? Oh, and that tinks at 55. J-Dub is feeling it. That garden glove primed up to do some gardening this spring as he Ks Kiefer McClendon as we go into Top of the 6th.
Top of the 6th inning.
This is
here.
it. 3.
This is it. Snappers 3-1 here. They need this win bad. 5-13 record coming in. If they can win this series and move themselves to 7-14 and start the long trek back to 500 here.
Yeah, they got a while to go to be relevant again in the PLW, but you could never count out. Remember, the Snappers have been in all 3 championship games in the PLW. Have the reigning 3-time MVP, Taylor Briner. I would never count them out, Chad.
I agree with you. They need Johnny to show up, man. He's kind of killing them. He's an offensive monster, and they're struggling with the run scoring, able to get 3 up here, and hope they can make that hold up here and grab a win.
Here's David Harley up to bat right now. And he's just seeing the ball a lot better this portion of the season since he was traded from the Vipers, or actually let go and then picked up on waiver wire, I believe.
Yeah, he's hitting under 150 on the season. He's got about 60 plate appearances, and he's got maybe a little bit of tough luck. He's hit some balls hard right at people. Looking to get that average moving in the right direction.
And
that's going to do it right there. That's going to move him up a good 15 points in the batting average and get his Snappers an insurance run over to first base.
I love seeing a former Sand Viper getting his mojo on. Greg Kelly takes strike. 0-2 count. Remember, he had that spinner ball. Unfortunate series of events there. He goes down swinging for a strikeout.
That was an interesting spot for a sacrifice bunt. Really tough to pull off out here, obviously, but that's a big run on first base, and maybe would have caught him off guard if he could just notched one over to the first base line. I know it sounds kind of silly, but moving that runner to second base here is huge for the top of the order. What did they do? Put somebody in the 7 hole here? It looks like
Ryan Murphy, right?
7 hole, yeah, and they're adding him. I'm sure they're not pinch hitting for Taylor, adding Ryan Murphy to the bottom of the lineup here. Murphy hits a
lot
spinner.
Of spin.
Gets it just in time. Casey, I don't think they can turn 2 there. Boba holds it. I don't think he had time. Still like a throw there. Just throw it down.
That play reminds me a lot like the spinner that came to you, and you kind of just fell to the ground and didn't field it at all.
Is that what happened?
I mean, you saw the instant replay. I sent it in the chat, and I was kind of asking for. And Taylor Briner saying he thinks that Casey Nielsen might have not been lined up on the pitch. Is that what he's protesting right here?
Yep. He's saying if that infielder did not have his foot on the line at contact of the pitch, or at least when the ball is imminent in the hitting zone, it's going to be a clean single for the Snappers.
And some guys are going into the dungeon. They're going to take a look right now, and they immediately come out.
There's probably not going to be a replay, is my guess. Yeah, that's no challenge charge to the Snappers because there was no replay available on the play.
So what happens there?
Nothing. Just it's a single. I'm not sure his foot was in the outfield on contact. They really jumped on Purdy the other night in my series, and his foot was all over the line at contact. So they were completely incorrect. He's just quick. Jake takes he gives a step and backs off as the batter's hitting it, so he gives the illusion that he's a little deeper.
Yeah, I don't understand that play, actually. What's the point of playing behind the line and then coming up to the line when the pitch is thrown?
There's so many people in this league started doing that in like the middle of season 1, and I've never understood why you're getting all your momentum running forward as the pitch is coming in. I like to be set and almost leaning backwards so I have the ability to give some ground and cover a little bit more ground.
2-2 count, Briner to the left side. That's going to be a good hit for him as Murphy goes to 2, Briner to first. 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. The Snappers would love to add a couple more insurance run as Shane Weber is up to bat right now.
When we move to the new field trench, the infield line will be a couple of feet deeper. And that's
right in your face, Chad.
And that's going to create a lot of extra...
You have to be faster. Man.
I didn't even move, Trench.
This should be an easy out for Boba. We take him up here, man. I think when I was in the booth, was it yesterday? Or I don't even know when I was. I took one to the face pretty good. It got stuck.
It hit my microphone.
It got stuck in my mic. But we're going to go to the bottom of the 6th. The Cajuns need to tack on 2 here to stay relevant. 3 to win the game. What do you think, Chad? We're going to see some...
We're going to see Shane Weber or Taylor Briner. It looks like we're going to see Wilson. Nope, I don't know why he's giving the balls to Weber, and then Weber gives them back to Wilson. And let's see if they have a quick hook here, I think. I think they give Wilson a chance, and if he puts somebody on base, you're going to see Briner come in and close it down.
Yeah, they're just going to tell him to attack whatever batter is up there if he happens to walk. Yeah, an immediate Kirby bucket is going to be coming out there. And remember, there were some wiffle ball points on the snappers, and there was good odds right there. It looks like Patricus might have been taking those. He gives the old thumbs up. He's ready to be cooking with his wiffle ball points.
Yeah, any team can win on any day out here, and we've seen it several times this season. Let's see if the Cajuns can fight back here, get this game tied up, play some more free wiffle ball. Briner is half owner. Jesse Capps is half owner. Snappers have had some known ownership issues over the past couple of months, and
yeah, kind of nobody really knows what's going on in that.
Yeah, it hasn't been
organization.
All kosher in the organization. Peter Mavro was part of this team when it was first created. He stepped down, and the ownership is between Jesse and Taylor right now. Casey Nielsen looking at a couple of quick balls. They need a base runner. One base runner brings that tying run to the plate, and know how important that is. Casey down in the 6 hole as well, so we know who's looming on deck. Wilson lays one in as he should. That was the one spot for a definite cookie here because a walk is not acceptable. Let's see what he decides to do on 3 and 2.
Yeah, you're probably going to see that slurve, possibly to the outside.
He throws him a straighter pitch, and Casey fends it off. Wilson's going to have to throw another.
Yeah, this has been the week of the sweeps. Sweep week.
Casey can't stay back long enough. Easy one to Caps. 4-5-2 on the clock, under the 5-second requirement. First out of the 6th. Wilson does have one walk under his belt. If he does walk another, going to see Briner. Here's Leday. Can't walk him here with the 2-run lead, Trench.
Yeah,
Got to
absolutely
come
not.
right after him. Has he been on base every time this game?
No, he flied out
Okay.
his last at-bat.
So 1 for 2 with 2 walks this game. Oh, man, got to come after him here. It's 2-1 now.
Vipers got swept, Lightning got swept, and I think the Owls, did they get swept?
No, the Owls swept us.
Oh, the Owls swept you guys. Who else got swept?
The Warbirds.
Oh, the Warbirds. Yeah, triple sweep.
Yeah, the Vaders broke their hearts in game 1 in the last inning there, and a couple of tough errors against that Warbirds outfield.
Oh,
wow.
Strikeout for J-Dub.
Don't see that very often, Trench. Him swinging at pitches down there.
Yeah, it happens to the best of them as he goes down swinging.
Roosh has got one job here, one job only. Find a way to get to first base.
Oh, and one of your teammates is highlighting a question and wants to know things. A lot of spin on this ball. He's going to have to hurry.
Was that a real throw effort there?
RPMs on a wiffle ball is real, folks. It is hard to get a hand on that sometimes. And you can see Bo Evans, he's the tying run up to bat.
Bo has 3 home runs on the season, hitting .264. Got a .472 slugging percentage, so he's capable. Good take there. Getting ahead in the count here is crucial for Evans. We got Anthony Michael on deck.
After this at-bat, Chad, you're going to have to read your boy Bruce the Juice's message right there. He wants to know.
Yeah, he can ask that in the team chat if he wants to know.
Oh, you don't want to airmail that one to the rest of PLW Nation. If it was me, I'm being raw. I'm being real.
Pitch kind of stopped in midair and took a left, and Bo was able to hang back just long enough, fight it off. Count's going to remain 1-2. Good take there, just up. Wilson thought he might have had it. Count moves to 2-2.
Good ending of game number 1 we have here.
Bo punches one to an open field out there, and Harley does a good job of batting it back toward the infield, keeping that tying run at first base only.
The only run for the Cajun is by this man, Anthony Michael. A solo shot earlier in the game is up to bat with 2 runners on, and the Snappers are talking about it right in front of that pitcher's mound. Who's it going to be?
Clean double ties this game right now.
And J-Dub saying, I want this win.
I think if he wants this win, he should give the ball to Taylor Briner and let Taylor lock this last out down for him. But it looks like they're going to stay with Wilson here.
A clean double would score 2 and tie this game as well. And I like Anthony Michael's chances. They are putting 3 outfielders to try to eliminate that possibility, though.
Good decision on defense here. They got move Caps over to second base, leave Greg Kelly at third, send Briner to the outfield. Wilson tries a little bit of a harder slider. It's over the radar and bounces out in front of the plate. Michael settles back into the box. Wilson kicks and deals. Michael fights off an inside pitch, and he finds himself down in the count, 1-2.
Yeah. J-Dub known to fire in well above 55 in a 1-2 spot. Nothing that Michael can't come around on.
Wilson with a little bit of Levi impersonation, and Michael hits it a little too high. Briner with 2 hands makes the catch and secures the Snappers 3-1 Game 1 victory.
Yeah, weren't expecting that. A lot of the viewers at home had a lot of their wiffle ball points on the Cajuns in that one. J-Dub definitely made some noise right there. You kind of predicted that pre-game that they had to do a little bit of something to out of J-Dub to win that one. But we're going to go into game number 2 right after this. Good evening, PLW Nation. Just got done with game number 1. The Snappers took that one 3-1. Jonathan Wilson, a 2-run shot to kind of break that tie there. It was in the 5th inning, top of the 5th, I believe.
Top of the 5th, yep, it was. Yeah. 2-out, 2-run bomb by J-Dub, and I did predict that J-Dub was going to be the guy tonight to have to step up for his Snappers, and so far, so good. Cajuns going to look to bounce back, force a rubber game. I'd get my points on the Cajuns this game. The way this league rolls, we're going to have a rubber match. We seem to be destined for a good series here tonight. Expect a few more runs this game. I'm going to call Cajuns 7, Snappers 2 this game, and we're going to have a rubber match.
Wait, say that again?
7-2 Cajuns, game number 2. That's my prediction.
7-2 Cajuns. They don't like that number. Do you know why?
Tell me why.
Because one time they were up 7-2. It was the bottom of the 6th. And then
it was the bottom of the 7th.
Bottom of the 7th.
It was the bottom of the 7th against the Bombers, and the Bombers ripped off 6 runs.
Wow.
And,
I wonder if you just, jinxed them or something.
Hey, the Cajuns bounced back from that loss right there. They could have kind of folded a little bit and kind of shriveled up, but they have done nothing but win games since that day. And
what is that? Is that Tannic? Looks like he's having fun with some women wherever he's at. What the? Hold on, dude. Can you put my phone on mute? I gotta make a call.
Sorry about that. Yeah, we got Sashi Boba on the mound warming up here for game number 2. I suspected he would throw. I got the lineups coming up to me right now. We got new lineup cards here tonight. So managers can have something in their pocket and have an idea what's going on during the game. So the umpires can have official lineup cards. And so us announcers know exactly what's going on for game 2 and game 3.
Hey, well, I don't know. Maybe I'm just stressing out a bit. A lot of stuff's going on here in the PLW. I got traded from the Vipers to the Legends, and I don't know, but I just saw a picture. Are you on that yoga retreat, though? You're doing that yoga
Give one to
retreat,
Lede.
right?
Do have those lineup cards coming up to me here. I got them both right now.
I don't know. I swear I just saw a picture of you and... I mean, you're not with Tannic. You wouldn't lie to me, right? We've been together for 4 years almost.
Let's go. Let's go.
I mean, it looked like you a little bit, but I don't know. I just want to make sure that things are going okay, and that, you know, I've just been really stressed out. And okay, yeah, because I know he went to Costa Rica, and you went to another place for that yoga retreat. I've just been stressing out, and maybe I'm just seeing things.
Trench, you okay? You okay, Trench?
I don't know, man. Well, I totally trust you. It's just, I mean, it almost looks like you for sure.
Sashi Boba just about ready to go here.
All right, well, I'm just going to call you after this series and see. I love you. I'm just really stressed out. You know, a lot of the guys, we were shorthanded tonight and everything, and I'm just really stressed out right now. I'll call you a little bit, okay?
All right, I love you.
Okay, love you too. Chad, am I tripping out, dude?
No, I don't know, Trench. What happened, buddy?
I mean, she said she was going on a yoga retreat.
Well, I'm sure she's on a yoga retreat.
I mean, it looked just like her, dude.
Taylor fouls the first pitch of the game off the left side. We're going to have Briner, Weber, Wilson, Greg Harley, and Ryan Murphy squeezes into the 6 hole this game. For the Cajuns, it's Lede, Roosh, Evans, Michael, Sashi Boba into the 5 hole. Instead of Kiefer and Nathan Roosh
water, dude.
into the 6 hole.
I need like a bag to breathe in or something. I don't feel good.
Briner, just not that same force that he's used to striking the ball with. Kiefer cruises into center field, makes an easy catch. Boba comes into the night with a 3-2 record, a 3.29 ERA over 31 innings pitched, a very nice tidy whip of 1.29. Weber punches one way down the line, foul. He's got to wait back on that a little more. Trench, and he's got a home run. He does
Can't
have
even think right now.
6 home runs on the season for Weber. And that might be his 7th. It's back, but Roosh is reliable as can be out in left field, cruises over in front of that Cheers beauty sign, makes a nice catch for the 2nd quick out of the 1st. Jonathan Wilson, the hero from game 1, came in after his starter, Brandon Gregg, walked the first 2 batters of the game, was able to pitch the remainder of that game, also hit a 2-run home run to guide his team to a 3-1 victory. That one was not going to be a strike, Trench, and Wilson put a lot of bat on it.
I almost want to see that picture again because I gave her this like bracelet, and if it's the person's wearing it, I mean, we have full trust. I'm gonna trust in her, man. She said she's at a yoga retreat. Here we go, J-Dub, game 1 winner.
That's into the 3-4 hole, but Casey Nielsen's able to knock it down, pick it up, and Sashi Boba has a 1-2-3 first inning, trying to get his Cajuns back even in this series tonight.
Yeah, that was a good first inning.
I kind of mumbled through the lineup there. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Is that her? You tell me.
I can't get her. It's henna. She didn't have henna when. Is that henna or whatever when she was out there? But she did have a left, like, bracelet thing. But what the fuck?
So as I mumbled through that Cajuns lineup earlier, they did substitute McClendon and Nielsen out of the 5-6 hole, and that has been replaced by Sashi Boba and Nathan Roosh in the 5-6 hole this game. McClendon and Nielsen will be their only 2 bench players. Snappers have Johnny Castaneda still on the lineup card on the bench tonight, so they're hoping he can swing through at some point, and that could be a big addition if they could get a couple at-bats out of him in big spots tonight. Scott Labrato, Jesse Capps also on the bench, and Greg Kelly moves to the bench as well. Remember,
I mean, real quick though, if I would think in Costa Rica, there's a lot of women that might look like Caro though. Dark hair, tan, curvy, top-heavy production stuff going on. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not worried. Everybody wears seashells and necklaces and stuff.
everyone.
I'm ready I'm ready to call this game.
Andrew Leday steps in the box, got on base in 3 of his 5 plate appearances in the first series.
See Tom Gannon, Sand Vipers there? He's there, and he says, man, it's not her, it just looks like her. See? I could trust her. And Leday goes left.
Pounces. Can he make the throw? He
Does.
can. Great play by Caps there to retire Leday, a tough task. And he's 3 for 6 at getting on base tonight, and his on-base percentage goes down some points there. That's what
I'm
happened.
back, man, after Tom Gannon confirming that it wasn't her. Not that I don't trust her. I mean, we have that trust. I was like, yeah, go on your little yoga thing.
Guys, those wiffle points are still up here. Nice play by Greg, but he can't knock it down. Caps has it. He's going to throw it from far away, but he's got to get some more height on that throw.
It from far away. I love that.
He's got to throw it up more. When he throws from that distance, you can't throw the straight arrow throw anymore. You got to get it up in the air and let the ball work for you a little bit. Let it kind of float a little bit. He doesn't have the arm strength to throw it from 75 feet out there to the backstop. That's a hanger, and that's going to move Ryan Roosh from first to third here with 1 out, and Weber on the ropes here to begin this game.
Yeah, you don't want to get on the bump in your little farewell series and give up some runs. J-Rock saying if it's on Facebook, it has to be real.
J-Rock knows, man. Whatever J-Rock says, I second. If Sansone says it, I'm going to question it a little bit. But J-Rock, we got to go with him.
Inside pitch to Anthony Michael right there. Runners on the corners.
This is a sac fly situation. Roosh is allowed to tag up on a fly ball. If he crosses that commit line, which is at 18 feet away from third base, then he must go. As Weber walks his first batter, loads him up. Maybe somewhat intentional there. Maybe he likes this matchup against Sashi Boba. I'm not sure this has ever taken place, this matchup.
Boba's a competitor. He lives for this moment. I was talking to him prior to the game.
Takes a couple of tough pitches, and all of a sudden he finds himself in the driver's seat here, and the Cajuns looking to get off to a stronger start this game. Weber resetting out there. Remember, this is Weber's last night at Hideaway Field. He goes under the knife tomorrow for ACL surgery, and he finds himself 1 pitch away from not only walking out of this game, but walking in the first run.
I'm going full green light right here if a cookie comes in. And he does it. It was a cookie. Just came in a little low, and Weber walks in the first run for the Cajuns. He's done? Is that 2 walks for Webb?
2 walks for Webb.
I was kind of distracted with something else going on, but it looks like Kirby Bucket back out there as Breiner's going to come in early, bottom of the first, and he needs to get out of this jam.
He sure does. The Snappers got that game 1 win. They'd like to kind of keep that momentum going here as they're still at the bottom of that PLW standings. We'll see. Breiner's good here, Trench. He's good. I think he can get out of this jam. He's got, who's up here in the, Nathan Roosh is in the 6 hole here for the Cajuns before. So this matchup favors Taylor for sure. I'm pretty sure Nathan's never faced Taylor Breiner before. It's a tough task. Breiner has that same consistent release point. Very difficult to decide which pitch is coming. All of his pitches kind of come from the same location. He's able to do many things from many angles, and you really have to be on your toes. You can't anticipate much against Breiner. You kind of have to react to what's coming and just get at that late, deep contact and put a good swing on it.
Yeah, he was really having trouble when I was talking to him when he had that cast on. As silly as it might sound, it kind of not. It just adds that weight and shifts your body and your balance when you're trying to make a pitch.
It doesn't sound silly to me, man. It's everything's about timing and balance out in wiffle ball. The hitters really got to, it's not baseball. You don't need to stride and get a big shoulder turn. You want to stay separated and balanced and, be able to react to lots of different speeds.
Here he is, Nathan Roosh, the brother of Ryan. And it gets
dirty.
through.
Dirty. He got a piece. You could see it dirty.
Nathan just became a firefighter, and boy, did he smoke that one.
Yeah, Nathan Roosh's batting average is really high, actually. He has very few plate appearances, but he has been successful when he has come up, surprises Briner, and that puts them in a tough spot here with batting champion Andrew Day steps in with them loaded and 1 out, already up 2 runs. 2 mercy rules here in the PLW, 10-run lead after 3 complete innings, or 15 runs anytime.
And so
Taylor sneaks in that first strike, and it's 1-2. He drops down full submarine there. I don't see a lot out of the Taylor. He has been trying to create some new stuff early in this season, and he has not been as effective as in prior seasons.
oh, he just got promoted, Nathan.
We're going to go full here, and
What do you do, Chad? I mean, you have to go after Leday. You can't just throw
was-
him a 3-quarter cookie, or otherwise it's going to be 6-0.
that was a really good layoff on that screwball. Let's see what happens here. Leday finds a hole. Caps gets a finger on it. Another dirty single. That ball was spinning away from Caps. He had that, and that ball took a right on him, and he's only able to get a finger on it for another Cajuns run as their lineup just keeps rolling.
Man, you could see Briner shaking his head in that position as Ryan Roosh now up to bat. This is like a backdraft moment.
Roosh goes the other way. This is a double play ball. Caps has to complete it if he wants to prevent this run from scoring, but he throws a slider just wide. Force out at second. Good. Everybody else advances 1 base.
Scores a
Cajuns
run.
4-0.
Wow, you were talking a 7-2 annihilation. This is a good start to your prediction.
Looks like you're getting some price with that Cajuns too. Plus 125, plus 130. Final line there. Base
And
hit.
Bo's gonna go left side.
Waste no time, Evans, and it's 5-0 as the Cajuns are rattling the Snappers' cages right now, Trench.
Yeah. Man, everybody's getting a piece of TB7 right now.
Batter number 10 of the first inning here, rolling to the plate, and Anthony Michael. Briner needs to bear down now. Snappers have had a lot of trouble putting up big numbers, and right up the middle, another knock, right side, 6-0 Cajuns.
And you could see Anthony Michael fired up. That's his former team. They let him go, and that's going to score an RBI single.
Look at the simple approach these Cajuns are using right now, just punching the ball back up the middle, hitting it where it's pitched, hitting it deep in the zone, not trying to do too much with the ball, and they find themselves putting an 11th man up here in the first inning.
Chad, I don't remember who they were playing, but remember when TB7 got rattled once again? He gave up 5 runs in the first against, I don't know who it was, but it's very reminiscent of that game.
Filthy pitch by Taylor there as he's going to try and bear down 1 out away from getting out of this mess. Screwball, beautiful. Taylor, 2 unhittable pitches to Boba, but the damage done. 6 for the Cajuns in the first inning as they look to tie this series up and are in good position to do so.
What an inning by the Cajuns, man. They were coming out with the chili pepper sauce right there and kind of doused Taylor Briner with that right in his eyes. You can't see. There's
didn't-
right up, bang, bang, bang,
They
3
didn't
shots.
overcomplicate anything, Trench. They kept it simple as can be and didn't swing for power. We're just trying to flick the ball into play. And beautiful, beautiful pieces of hitting by their entire lineup in that first inning. And
Is that what they do? They come out with the little chili pepper spray on their opponents.
you know, I want to say it that Sashi Boba might actually, I don't have these stats, but if I had to guess who in the league for pitchers leads the league in run support, I would say it's Sashi Boba. It seems like when he's pitching, they just put a chunk up for him, and he's able to just throw strikes and grind his way through the game.
That's a very unique wind-up, the highest leg kick in the PLW. Watch this, guys.
The winds are coming here into Hideaway Field. Going to play a little bit of havoc with the ball as that one spins and floats across the outfield. Brandon Gregg has a leadoff single for the Snappers here in the second. David Harley and then Ryan Murphy fill out the lineup here. Matt Patricus calling a 12-10 game right here. I'm not sure I'm going to go there, but
I love Boba as a pitcher, but if he doesn't find a little bit of side-to-side action, the Snappers, I feel like, will get some bats on balls. I wouldn't run away with this one quite yet.
Boba's definitely hittable. I feel like his numbers are a lot better than they're going to end up at the end of the season. And The Snappers have some veteran hitters in this lineup. See if they can work them a little bit, get to some favorable positions, and kind of chip away at this lead. Sashi trying to throw that screwball. Definitely a tricky pitch to master. Using it when he's up in the count, trying to get a chase. Harley evens the count. Count fills up. Another base runner here, 2 on with nobody out. Would be the ticket to getting back into this one. Harley hits one, but he hits it up too high. Nielsen makes the easy grab and the first out.
I'm gonna go grab my water bottle real quick.
Sounds a
Make
good
another
trench.
Make another phone call.
Hit really hard, and that ball takes a left on Evans. You see him moving over. He didn't widen that base out a little bit. Tried to close the 5-hole, but the ball sneaks around the side of him. And that might go as an error. It might go as a hit. I'm not sure. It was hit pretty hard. He's got to do a better job of getting a piece of that one. And Snappers have 2 on with 1 out. And Briner back at the top of the order, looking to get himself going tonight. The winds are kind of swirling around here still as Boba sneaks a 46-mile-an-hour little curveball by Briner. Briner steps out, recovers. You see him playing with that left hand, left wrist. First game with his cast off tonight, and I don't think he's feeling 100% healthy yet. I think that cast was protecting him, and he feels a little naked without it on here tonight. 1-2 pitch. Boba settles in from the stretch this time and left one up where Taylor could see it and handle it, and the Snappers have their first run of game 2. Chip back in 6-1. Steve first and second with 1 out, and here is Weber. Expects a big inning out of the Snappers here. Trench, can you make any more noise with that microphone?
Probably. I was
Weber
worried.
hits one deep, hits one far, but it curves foul.
Oh my God. I told you I was a little bit worried about Boba's style of pitching against the Snappers specifically.
This is a very matchup-dependent league, and some guys are really tough on some teams and struggle with others.
I guess I just tried to make another call. She was right, then no connection.
That's it, deep. That's not going foul. Weber gets the Snappers right back in this game, 6-4 early here.
He doesn't look like he has any knee problems right there. Look how fast he's running those bases.
Yeah, that's
That could be just a marketing stunt.
not a good matchup for Bober against Weber there, leaving those pitches up where Weber can handle them. He's going to do that just about every time, and we have a ball game.
Looked like a tiny little UFO landing back there, and I don't know if it's just because I've watched so much WIFFLE and you've watched it too, but I didn't like this matchup specifically.
Yeah, 10-8 prediction from Patricus is looking pretty live here. Who's winning, Matt? 10-8. 12-10 he's at now. Oh, he's added to this. He's changing his guess. Wilson hits one hard. Boba knocks it down.
What a play.
Feeds through. Evans picks it up, throws it a little high, but it hangs on, hits the top of the backstop. Wilson is out. Good play. Good teamwork out there in the field. Boba, that ball was tricky, just kind of flailing after it. It found a piece of him and died down where Evans could handle it. Greg not seeing that slow slider there, and he finds himself down 0-2. Important pitch to lay off there. Good spot to look for a home run here for Greg with 2 outs and nobody on. Sashi leaving some pitches up. Greg works the count back even. Look for a strike here. And there it is, and he swings through it. But the Snappers answer back with a 4 spot. And after 1.5 innings, Cajun 6, Snappers 4.
Yeah, it's very important when you face the Snappers. You have to have side-to-side movement against those guys. Anytime you have some 12-6 or things coming down the pipe, the Webers and Briners, I mean, they've been doing it since the inception of the Weber and Briner show. I mean, these guys, how many home runs have they had over the course of the last 3 seasons? They hold the record for most back-to-back home runs. It's what they do. Sometimes when you have a certain pitcher up there, and no disrespect to Boba, I love him as a pitcher and a person, but like I said earlier, just certain matchups will not be in your favor.
Yeah, I think Boba's been living up in the zone a little too much in his last couple of starts and kind of getting away with it. And you are right. This Snappers team does not let you get away with those high pitches. Wilson goes up and gets him. Taylor and Weber obviously go up and get him. Manny can handle him. He's not here tonight. Even Jesse Capps, as a tennis player, has got those quick hands. If you leave it up to him and he can see it, he's able to put a good swing on it. I'd look to see Jesse get in the bottom of the lineup here.
Let's talk to TikTok a little bit. Haven't said anything.
What's up, TikTok? What are you doing on TikTok?
They're watching one little camera angle. You have to come over to twitch.tv/Premier WIFFLE. Multiple camera angles. A lot of fun we have up here as commentators. Instant replays. Get up in the chat. And, of course, you could earn wiffle ball points by betting on your team and redeem some cool merchandise like jerseys and balls and all that kind of stuff. And our chat, our Twitch chat, is so much fun. These are diehard people, hundreds and hundreds. We have 15,000 followers on Twitch. And hundreds of people love coming in and watching us every single night, Monday through Friday.
Here's Nathan Roosh. 2 really good pitches by Taylor. Nathan singled, I believe it was off of Weber still in the first inning. Might have been Taylor's first batter, actually. Another decent piece there, but Cap's a little deep. He's got to make a good throw, and Jesse's really been working on that throw over the last few months, and it's night and day from where he was throwing back in Season 2, Trench.
Yeah, he has a real smooth throw, kind of unorthodox, but he just makes it, and every time he hits that backstop as Andrew Leday up to bat right now. Bottom of the second, Cajuns up 6-4. You know, for all the fireworks that happen in, the first inning or whatnot, it could immediately tone down. This game could end, 7-5 or something like that.
Totally correct, Trench. That's what's so great about this PLW. We can go from a 2-0 game to a 10-9 game back to a 2-1 game. It's incredible the variety of results that we come up with.
And that's kind of a new arm angle that he is coming out of. And Leday says, I'm going to take that to the left side, but go right to Weber. But you're noticing he's coming kind of that AK-47 Sub-Zero style pitch. And it could get the batter off balance as Ryan Roosh up to bat right now.
Yeah, I mentioned that Taylor thought he needed a new weapon out there. Everybody's been seeing him. He's a reigning Cy Young Award winner, and he's constantly working on new things to keep people off of balance. That's it.
Gone.
Well, that is going to
stay fair.
No, Trench.
Oh,
no.
Man.
Spun all the way foul. It actually didn't even get over the fence. It hit the top corner of the wall about 2 feet in foul ground. That ball was about 8 feet fair at one point.
It looked like it was going to go 35, 40 feet over that fence, caught some of those Tier 2 wins.
Kind of ran out of steam.
And Harley gave his best effort to try to grab that.
Roosh really shown a good tendency lately to go the opposite field with power. I believe of his 3 home runs this season. Is that what he has? Let me check out one more time. 3 home runs, yeah. I believe they're all opposite field. Briner knocks it down, has plenty of time as he chases it down over by the first baseline. And 1-2-3 inning for Briner. Good shutdown inning after the Snappers get back in the game.
Yeah, I'm talking to my PLW Nation right now in the Twitch chat. Say what up to all the new TikTok viewers that are coming in. Let them know how hype we are up in this. Absolutely love seeing some new people coming in. They're giving big props to us and what we're doing, saying coming over from TikTok. Why was I even over there? It was just a little appetizer. I'm ready for the main course. And we got a buffet of stuff over here, like multiple camera angles, instant replay. Me and you are up here in the chat. We got people down in the dungeon making sure all the angles are going well. And, of course, Trevor Bauer, my main man over there in Skycam 1, and all the other umpires that are just scattered throughout here. We got 3 different people on the clock, somebody running an iPad. It takes a whole community of PLW people to get this thing going, Chad.
Yeah, Friday nights have been tricky some nights to get the amount of volunteers, as my Lightning team is a heavy volunteer base, and we're playing a lot on Fridays. So we really need the league to step up on Friday nights for us, and make yourself available on Friday night at least once for the rest of the season. Even if you haven't volunteered down here, get your butt down here and help us out some night. It's not hard to run a stopwatch and hang out and have a couple of hot cocos on the sideline.
And Harley goes deep.
Triple, I think. I'm not sure. Triple?
What a shot
has triple
by David Harley. And he adds some power to that bottom of the Snappers lineup, and that's exactly what they need. And that's what we've been talking about with Sashi Boba. He doesn't have that side-to-side movement quite yet. And Harley likes those high balls. And
look for a tag up. He dropped it, though, so Matt, we got to note that one is going to be a sack fly later. I'm going to just tell you guys a little scoring rule. So that's an error. It's an 0 for 1 for the batter. But because it was deep enough, we can assume that it would have been a sack fly. So we're going to give the batter credit for a sack fly. We're going to give him his RBI on that. And then the center fielder will be charged an error.
Wow, I don't know any of that stuff, Chad, but I like what you just said right there.
Yep, because, this tricky little scoring spot there. But a little drop in the outfield. Who is that out there? Kiefer making a mistake out there. And
Yeah, you got to pull that one in. And not only that, Chad, and you know I'm a stickler about defense, learned that from my former manager, Adam Tannick, and he always says defense wins games. And I never believed it. I always thought offense would win games in wiffle ball, but it's actually not true. It's defense. And when you have a person on third, you have to talk to your defense about a cutoff person. That throw would have been too far for Kiefer to make to hit the backstop and get Harley especially.
I mean, that ball was too deep for anybody to cut, and Harley's too fast.
Yeah,
He's just got to forget that there's a runner tagging and secure that
You
out.
might be right.
Hang on to that 6-5 lead. Matt, you did score that as just normal error? Okay, so I'll make the change at home.
And here's Taylor Briner going against Andrew Leday right here. And remember, Andrew Leday, he did not want to pitch tonight as he has really bad elbow soreness.
Ryan Murphy, that is going to be getting credit for the sack fly.
Tom, that was the stumble game.
Day slows it down a little, gets it moving side to side, and Taylor gets out in front a little bit. Taylor definitely hurting a little bit, Trent, you can tell.
I remember, man, no joke, when I broke my wrist, I cut off my cast like a month early, and that was not a smart play, but I remember the tenderness and everything, trying to get my strength back. I was snowboarding in Mammoth, California. Took a really bad stumble. 2-2 count. To the left side.
Oh, it comes from foul back to fair. A little flip. Casey does not have a lot of time to complete the double play. Rushes it. You see almost every time in PLW when a throw is rushed like that at second base, it's never a good throw. You might as well gather yourself, get some momentum, some quick momentum going forward, but you got to at least give yourself a chance to make a good throw.
Yeah, and when the wind is blowing out, you have to remember the ball's coming in hot. It's easy to airmail it over the backstop. Good pitch by Andrew Leday against Shane Weber right there. One out here in the top of the third. One runner on.
Snappers were down 6-0 not long ago. They've answered back in a hurry and closed the gap to 6-5 here. Weber with a big 3-run home run in his last at bat. Finds himself in a big spot here again. Still early in this game.
That might come back. No,
not this time. You never know which way that ball is going to bounce and roll. We've had a couple of players this week, Trench, reach out from the bench and grab balls that have been spinning. In the future, we have talked about that. It's going to have to be interference, and you have to let the ball travel if you're not a fielder. Weber.
Leday can't believe that Weber got a piece of that one.
He's so good at hitting the ball up there. I don't know how he got his bat on that. He earns another pitch.
He's a very aggressive hitter. Not much you're going to get past him. Yeah, one person synonymous with that spinner ball, Tom Gannon. He does that a lot. It goes over there to the first base dugout, spins back.
Weber, that's a tough play for Leday. He pulled up a little lame there, Trench. I hope he's okay.
Yeah, sometimes it looked like he stiff-legged it.
Yeah, that was like a non-contact injury situation there. I was a little scared. My heart dropped there for a second watching his knee kind of buckle. But he's okay. And that's going to bring up Wilson, who was the hero of Game 1 with 6 innings pitched out of the bullpen. I'm not sure we've seen that too many times in a big 2-run home run for a 3-1 win.
Big sweeper by Andrew Leday right there against J-Dub.
Yeah, if that ball touches the bar, it's actually unhittable. That was a great pitch. He just misses. That one's up there again. Tough play there at short, but he makes it look easy. And the Snappers get one more run to close this game to 6-5.
What a game we got brewing here. You know, after kind of a nail-biter, low scoring in game number 1, these guys are all fireworks. Game number 2, 6-5 Cajuns. They would have loved to have a little bit bigger lead after putting a 6-spot on the Snappers in the first.
Yeah, I'm not sure they're very happy where they're sitting in this game right now. They need this game. They don't want to go down 2-0 out here. There's been so many sweeps this week. That sounds like a bad omen for the Cajuns. If they get swept here tonight, they're going to find themselves back under 500. The Snappers are going to be right back in the thick of things. The Cajuns have to make sure they grab a game now before it's too late.
Yeah, I mean, they were thinking definitely a series win. Now they want to get out of this game for sure, as the Snappers are turtle clawing their way back into this one.
Yeah, Briner out on the mound, looking to kind of calm down the Cajuns' offense here. He had to come in the first inning. He didn't throw it all in game 1.
Remember, we're being shown live at Tarantino's tonight. They broadcast our games Tuesday through Friday, and also at Fred's Tavern on the east side. Little hot cocoa spot. Roll the Veg is down there, making sure our games are on. So if you're ever near those places, make sure you tune in.
What's going on, Mike? Thanks for all your help, man.
Who are you talking to?
Mike Tarantino.
I know, but it was like a different voice.
Oh, sorry about that. I wanted to make sure he heard me at the bar. He's probably cooking something up in the kitchen. Bo Evans chases one down low. Went out for Briner. Yeah, this game might settle right in, huh, Trench? Big 6 and 5 spots early, and now you watch this kind of hold par for a little couple of innings here.
They're just closed on Monday.
Oh, they're closed. So, Monday. It's not Monday. It's Friday, Trench.
No, I know, but somebody was asking because I said at Tarantino's Tuesday through Friday.
Oh. Looked outside. Michael says to Taylor, that was his screwball. And a little different type of screwball than some of the big guys have in this league. Daniel, Greg, Chen, Stevenson. Taylor has a different type of screwball. It's more contained and it's a little tighter. It starts moving later than some of those guys' screwballs. Tough to pick up. And Taylor quick pitch a little bit, but he had no control of that one.
Are you okay?
Bison.
If you guys have any rule questions here at all about the league, try and get them in the chat. Either somebody in the chat will answer them or I will answer them if I can see them.
Yeah, that chat sometimes gets moving. Hard for us to keep up. 2-2 count here. Bottom of third, 1 out. Cajuns up 6-5. Anthony Michael looking at a pitch coming in from Briner. A lot of spin on that one. Brandon Gregg loses his footing. He's going to have to make a throw. And it looks like it skips down. He didn't put much effort into that throw. I didn't like how he came out of the gates right there either, kind of skipped around. And that puts a runner on. Every time there's an error, Chad, you know, the wiffle ball gods start to wake up a little bit. And Sashi Boba notices that.
Well, Taylor's in the right spot in the lineup here in the 5-6 hole. He's just got to get these couple of guys, and there'll be no harm there. And there's a double play ball. He lets it go through. Smart by Taylor. Here's Caps. He's got plenty of time.
Done.
This time
Bang.
He makes a good throw. And the Snappers roll a 4-6-3 double play to get out of the third inning unscathed. Cajuns holding on to that 1-run lead. We're halfway through.
Yeah, we're going to go into the top of the fourth inning. I want to welcome all our new TikTok viewers that kind of stormed in on the Twitch channel. I want to thank them for coming on over. You're watching a good game right here. See my boy Trevor Bauer over there. That's my favorite camera angle. Just adds a little spiciness to our commentating up here. But yeah, I want to thank everybody for tuning in on a Friday night. What else you got going on a Friday night? Go out later. Do your stuff later. Tune in to PLW. Lots of action here. And, of course, we're always having fun. A lot of intensity. Get your wiffle ball points bet. Redeem things like some merchandise. Get your headbands. Get your jersey. I know James Stein's left shoe is signed up for grabs. I hope he deodorized that before that one is sent out.
Yeah, get yourself a sweatshirt. Pick your favorite team. Grab a nice hoodie.
Show them the merch store.
All you guys living out in the East Coast need those warm gear. Good pitch by Leday at double nickels on the top bar. 0-2 to Greg quickly.
Oh, man. A lot of people are kind of jabbing about the...
A lot of spin on that, and it's running away from Nielsen, but he's able to range over and make a good play there with his hands. Good throw, 1 out for the Cajuns.
Cassidy saying, I'll watch till midnight every night. I don't care what time it's on. That's what I'm talking about. It's the OGs of PLW, the real heroes of this league. As Harley hit a triple his last at-bat.
Yeah, he just missed a home run there, and it was just missed and out as well. Roosh made a jumping attempt at it, but the ball was moving and wasn't able to square it up with his hand. Hit the wall for a triple. Oh, that one's a good pitch by Leday, a screwball that moved away from him. Leday ranges off the mound a couple steps for the second out. Leday looking to drive that ERA down. He does have the highest ERA on his team. It's only 3.15. Actually, Boba came in at 3.29. But the whip for Andrew has been the surprise this season. 2.03 whip.
That's how many?
Two guys on base. Hits and walks
inning.
per inning. Yeah, so he's been putting a lot of guys on base. But he does have some nasty stuff, so he's been able to get out of jams and keep his ERA down low. He has allowed his staff to do most of the work this season. He's trying to get guys as many reps as possible, and he's kind of the fireman that comes in tough spots.
Good pitch by Leday. Look at Chloe Ogg saying it's 3 a.m. in the UK, but wiffle is life. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, what's going on in the UK over there?
That's a good piece of hitting by Ryan Murphy. I believe his second hit of this game.
He's trotting on over to first base.
Great approach there, Trench. He stayed back. He hit the ball deep, and he hit it to that open part of the field where there was no defenders there.
It's not easy to hit the ball to the opposite field. You just got to wait on it. Not easy to do. A lot of speed, different speeds coming in as pitchers. As Taylor Briner is up with 2 outs, he would have loved to get out of there without Taylor Briner up with a runner on.
Taylor's kind of due here a little bit, Trench. That's the best swing we've seen by
Yeah, I
Taylor
was just
tonight,
gonna say
right
that.
there. And you see him kind of wiggling his fingers a little and kind of taking his time.
I like that, kind of step out of the box, regroup yourself, get some feeling back in your hand. I mean, you're looking at the 3-time MVP, with obviously super subpar numbers because of the injuries.
Decent cut there. I think Leday hung that one big time. You could see the little grimace on his face as that was coming in. Please, Taylor, don't. Taylor unable to square it up. Another 1-2 pitch coming from Leday, who moves to the stretch. And that's hit high, that's hit deep, that's back, and it's caught at the pink box sign. Looks like McClendon hung there with it.
I thought that was gone immediately off his bat.
I knew
Is he
it was
losing a little power because of that arm, Chad?
That kind of to the deepest part of the park out there and up in those tier 3 winds swirling around.
I can't believe that didn't go.
All that wind swirling around adds a little friction to the, little air
Reiner
resistance.
thought it was gone too. I know it.
Yeah, good play by Kiefer out there in deep center field to stay with that one.
Gets out of that jam.
Wow, the Snappers find themselves 6 outs away from
Day's
this
sweating over
series being squared.
I
Yeah,
just saw his face.
Yep, he threw him a hanger and he missed it, and then he threw him another hanger.
Oh,
and
man.
Wow, tough. Big yard here, Trench. Big yard, 113 feet out to center. He hit it about the 112 mark by the pink box sign.
Yeah, and it's 113 out there. If you're standing out there and you're a 6-footer, you got to hit it like what? Like 120 or so. So it's
maybe even further actually. What did Josh Atkinson's catch a month ago? Was that like 121? And he reached all the way back and pulled it back into the yard. So yeah, a lot of athletes out here. Big yard. There's a lot of room to find some holes, but with 6 defenders now, we used to only have 5. But with 6 defenders, a good defense can really cover some ground.
Yeah, it looks like the wind is kind of going from right to left. So it did get hung up there a tiny bit.
Yeah, and he needed to hit the he hit the fade instead of the draw. If he hit the draw, it would have found the little wind gust, but he kind of hit the fade into the wind and ran out of juice. See Nathan Roosh up here in the 6 hole. I think it's 1 and 2, but it might be 0 and 2. I feel like he's thrown 2 pitches.
Yeah, that's his new pitch, man. I love it, seeing people like you were talking about just working on different things. You hang on to your 2 or 3 pitches for too long, And people are going to start seeing it.
The only small thing there is he's got to make sure he has 2 pitches from that arm angle, because if every single time he drops down to that arm angle and throws the exact same pitch, it's going to be seen on film quickly, and he's giving a tell away if he does it. But I'm sure Taylor understands this, and if he has a couple of pitches from that angle, it's a lot more difficult to sit on something.
Yeah, Ledet barely got a piece of that as a 61-mile-an-hour ball comes in a little hot on the inside. And you're right. I mean, you talk about watching film, and it almost sounds funny, but everybody here goes back, watches their games for sure. If you're playing, you're going back and watching the replays of your games, and you could get dialed in a little bit and shoot out some messages to your team about what you're going to be seeing.
This is game number 2. The Snappers took game number 1 3-1 on a Wilson 2-run bomb in the 5th. Wilson also threw a full 6 innings out of the bullpen. Weber started this game. Briner's in relief. Ledet does again, keeps it simple, just knocks it into the outfield, hits it where it was pitched, and he's back on track. They had retired him a few times in a row, and look for him to pick it back up here as the night rolls on.
Look at what Hunter said. I literally was scrolling through TikTok a couple days ago and found this channel. Now I am obsessed. That's kind of the sentiment that every new viewer says. And then they're just locked into PLW Nation, and you're just part of that PLW family.
Hunter Death, good to have you. Who's your favorite team already? Do you have one yet? You still trying to find one? We got Ryan Roosh up as he pushes one foul down the first base line out of play. Remember, you start with 1 strike here in the PLW. That rolls the count to 1 and 2. Roush, known to be a talker out here in the PLW. He's kind of calmed down a little bit the last couple weeks, but that's a great play. Is that Weber? Incredible. Caps picks it up and rolls a double play. Snappers with an incredible play to get out of the 4th. It looks like they've had a few balls knocked over there hard, and Weber said, hey, let me in there. That's a great play.
Yeah, man, I thought that was going to go through for sure. Weber puts a paw out there, kind of bats it to Caps, who steps on second, makes a toss to the backstop in time. Unfortunate for the Cajuns, obviously fortunate for the Snappers. Wow.
If he doesn't get a hand on that's 1st and 3rd, 1 out, and instead they're out of the inning and they got some momentum, and they're looking to get this game tied up right here and right now with Shane Weber at the dish.
Yeah, I'm a momentum guy. That's the only reason I love watching sports. I don't care about teams or players or whatever. How do teams react in moments like that? Are you going to come up and now put some juice on the balls and score some runs? Or are you going to be the Cajuns and kind of falter after a great play like that might have stopped, a runner from going to 3rd or possibly a double or whatever, scoring a run, whatever the scenario might have been?
Yeah, momentum is a big thing out here. This is, I've said it many times, a big game of exaggerated baseball.
For Weber right here. He's kind of the guy that lives off energy.
If you're struggling, you're really struggling. If you are hot, you are almost an impossible out. The extremes of this game are far more, and the variance, everybody in major leagues kind of huddles around 280. Like in this league, everybody's hitting anywhere from 070 to 520 as Ledet is. So there's a big range of skill and abilities out here. You got to find what people are good at and kind of focus them on that.
What the great thing about that range that you were talking, good strikeout by Ledet right there, is at any time the guy batting 100 or 140 or 220 or 500, it could go in reverse or straight. You know what I'm saying? It could be the guy that was batting 140 goes 4 for 8, and the guy that was batting 500 has a rough night, 2 for 12.
Yep. It's very difficult to be good out here all the time as Ledet. Wilson read slider and thought that was going to kind of slide back out over the middle of the plate, but that's not what he threw. It stayed in, and Wilson swung around it. Tough spot for Jonathan here as he throws a screwball really close there. The umpire comes up with a no swing. Wilson able to barely hang on to that check.
Yeah, I'm going to try to stay away from that sweeping curve, though, against Wilson right now because it looks like he's just feasting off of it.
I agree with that, and that's what he kind of showed him on that first pitch, but it wasn't that pitch. And let's see if he goes back to that inside fastball. There it is, but Wilson turns on it, and he's got a single, 1-out single for his Snappers, tying run to first base.
Wow, what a series J-Dub is putting together. I don't know what's in that Garden Glove, but it is seeping into his body. through osmosis. Great piece of hitting. That's Brandon Gregg. I call him Double G.
Ooh, tough pitch. 54, little changeup. I think it's a strike. I don't know, though. I can't see down that. It sounded like a strike.
Even J-Dub's
Little
saying, listen, dude,
discussion.
I'm on first base, and that was a strike. Can we just get a replay on that real fast if there's
I think
controversy?
it's too late. I think it's too late.
I mean, but why would it be too late? Explain that to me, Chad.
Because they didn't launch a replay down there in time to catch it, I believe. I'm not 100% sure of the...
I don't know if I agree with that kind of call. It's up to the people in the dungeon whether that was a strike or not. I don't know if I like that, Chad.
I didn't say it was up to them in the dungeon. Oh, well, whether they launch
the
a replay.
replay or not?
I think it hit the bar. I think the umpires all had it.
I mean, just regardless, on the next one, if they don't launch a replay, if everybody's saying it hit the bar, it doesn't matter.
You're right, but launching a replay on a first pitch, strike is not something that, you're thinking about. Like good play, home run, sure, we're getting replays up, but just pitch number one, it's not an auto replay.
Tom, I don't always make sense, but I'm saying, in a game like this, that pitch matters.
And there's a good play by Leday, and he flips it to second. Casey with a bullet.
Wow! I didn't think he was going to have time right there, Chad.
Well, it was hit really hard back at Leday. He had plenty of time. Casey kind of rushed the throw, and I'm impressed with the result from his throw. And he finds that bottom left corner of the middle panel, and the Snappers are down to 3 outs with trailing by 1.
Yeah, I'm looking at what Tom's saying. I was just going off what you were saying, that you can't replay it or even do anything about that.
Yeah, and you got to get that replay launched within like 12 seconds, and if you don't, then it's gone.
And maybe that's something that as our production just keeps getting better and better, that every play would be like.
Well, there's sometimes we have the
reviewable.
TV on down below, and the TV's on like a 20-second delay or 25-second delay. So after we have a situation like that, the umpire can just glance over at the replay, which is behind, and then see something simple like that. Like, that's not a play that's going to be a challenge, or we need to, discuss. Did it hit the bar? Like, just go look. It's very simple. And you heard the ting. I didn't hear a bounce before the ting, so everything kind of makes sense most of the time.
No bounce, no ting.
Yep,
That's kind of
straight.
how it goes.
No bounce, no ting. Chad Phillips, Trench Pacone,
Let's
Friday
go.
night, Las
Loving it right
Vegas,
now.
Nevada.
Oh, man, Chad. Cody Runnels is down there working the dungeon. He said for sure it was a strike.
For sure it was a strike. That's all we need to hear. Good
love
job,
it.
Cody.
He's kind of stepped up, Cody,
Yeah.
a little bit with the stream team.
Definitely. He's been out here all week. Thank Mr. Runnels out a lot, umpiring, trying to learn all the roles out here, and be an asset to the PLW.
Here's Anthony Michael up to bat. Looks like there's 1 out in the bottom of the 5th because that was Bo Evans that struck out prior.
Yep, 1 down. Reset that count.
And Wifey Roosh going right after you, Chad. She can't believe it.
Yeah, I don't. My pronunciations are poor. I'm sorry about that. I've got to work on that. As Michael chases a
Those
pitch.
are managing skills. Yeah, good pitch.
Excuse me?
What?
What?
Sashi Boba up to bat right now, 2 down here in the bottom of the 5th.
If Dalby just stayed in his own damn state, I wouldn't have had so many problems. 90, Taylor.
Wow.
Taylor works a quick
Way
couple
to
of
throw
innings.
it from 11 feet, 90 miles an hour, Taylor. You
And,
big stud.
Now, Taylor, you better get on base right now because your Snappers need you, need a run. They're at the bottom of the table here in PLW, and they're looking to
I'm rubbing
fight
my
back.
wiffle ball. I'm foreseeing a very, very exciting top of the 6th right here. I feel like the Snappers might put one on. What do you feel?
I feel like they have to get either Harley or Murphy on base here in the 5-6 hole. If they can get one of those 2 guys on base and get to the top of the lineup with 1 out, I think they're in prime position. If they go 2 outs with nobody on, they're gonna be needing a miracle.
Let me tell you right now, Leday has to be careful. As you know, sometimes he comes with that like high slide piece or kind of just a lob ball that goes a little higher. If he knows David Harley,
Harley's got a lot of power, man.
He's got a lot of
He has
power
as
with
much
those
power
pitches.
as anybody in this league. His connection rate isn't as high as he would like it to be currently, but he's working hard, and the The Snappers made a really good claim in picking him up when he was available on the wire. Good take there. He's chased that pitch a few times, and Leday's going to have to throw something a little bit more competitive.
The wind picking up, blowing out.
Is that
Chad.
thunder right here? Or is it an airplane? I can't tell.
I don't know.
Something rumbling. It's probably an airplane. Oh, and there's the chase that I spoke of. He's got to lay off that. That pitch is never a strike. One-two pitch from Leday back in the stretch.
A calm has set over Hideaway Field right here as the Snappers need to get runners on. Good at bat so far by David Harley.
5-6 hole, beautiful piece of hitting by Harley, and the Snappers are in business here in the 6th inning with their leadoff batter on. Ryan Murphy's had a good game at the plate here, couple of hits, and let's see what the Cajuns do. Sashi and Andrew having a conversation out there, and here they go. Leday makes the call to Roosh. Roosh is going to come in for his 7th inning of work here. 9 innings you get as a pitcher. 1 pitch within an inning is considered a full inning. I don't know if Leday's made the move yet. Roosh and Andrew talking it out.
I think he's just kind of talking, maybe a pitch setup or whatnot. Roosh definitely has, I feel like he features a little bit more of speed on his pitches than Leday does.
That's funny that I just heard how long do they get. I brought up in the manager's chat today of a 45-second time limit on conversations. New concept, but we do have this nice timer on the screen, so running it to 45 seconds would be interesting, and then the umpire could kind of walk out and break up the conference.
45 seconds? That seems short.
That's a long time,
Is that a long
man.
time?
I mean, the MLB, they give them like 20 to 25 to 30 maybe, and then the umpire strolls out.
Good first pitch by Leday right here.
I don't think it's been a problem at any point. I don't think anybody's really taken more than 45 seconds, but it just adds a little drama to their conversation, and they can see the clock right there while they're talking. Oh, he swings at a super hot pitch that Leday's got him in his pocket right now. This is a tough matchup for Murphy. He's going to be guessing up there right now.
Yeah, watch for a drop pitch and a reach out.
He reaches out, he punches it, and it's clean into the outfield. No, it doesn't matter if it goes out of play on its own. Remember, for there to be an extra base, it would have to be touched to go out of play.
That's Bologna, Chad.
Man, they are making it interesting. And they're talking about the double play. Why don't you tell the fans at home exactly what they're talking about, Chad?
All right, so now if a double play is attempted, the run scores. So if they turn it, there'll be 2 outs, obviously, but that run's going to come home. So I think this is a must-eat at second base, and then the guy in third holds. But it's not going to matter. Snappers tie it up. Briner, I can't tell if that's right side or left.
It looked right from where I was at.
Petricus has right side, and the Snappers are in business first and third. Nobody out here. And Leday questioning all of life here as the game is 6-6. Cajun scored 6 in the first inning, Trench, and all of a sudden you alluded to this game slowing down, and it certainly did. And we've got a doozy on our hands here.
Yeah, we were afraid for the Cajuns in this moment.
And once again, and they're in the same position. They can't attempt a double play. If they attempt it, the run will score, and the Snappers will lead. Sack fly in play here as well.
Oh, Mayo with the biggest jam ever.
56.
Where's Mayo? Let's see what Mayo said.
It might be better that you don't.
Okay. 3-0 pitch here. Weber green light for sure, but he takes a ball. 4 bases loaded, nobody out. 4 Snappers consecutively reaching base here.
He really didn't want Roosh to use that inning.
I think that inning was a good use for Roosh. I mean, you got to get this game, man. They're down 1-0. You got to break out everything you have in your arsenal to win this game right here, right now. And now there's a lot of options. Infielders have options. Hit the middle panel or the strike zone directly out at the plate. You can turn a double play anywhere in the field. If you turn a double play, the runner's going to score unless you step on second and hit the strike zone. If you do so, you'll get the out on the runner at first going to second, and you'll get a tag on the runner at third coming home. If they missed the strike zone and just hit the middle, they would get their force out and the out at first, and the run would come home and score. So infielders really have to know what they're doing right now when the ball is hit to them. A triple play. We've seen, I think.
What are the chances that all these fielders know exactly what you just said right there, Chad?
I don't know. The cheap double play is still the easiest option. Step on third, throw to second, but it looks like that option is not really in play with Wilson up here. So their best option is to come directly home and hit the middle panel, knock down the runner at the plate. Leday's going to have to throw strikes here, and he's going to have to do it right now. He does have one walk, but more importantly, the bases are loaded. Tying run at third. Go ahead run at third. Good pitch. Leday has a play on it, and the first out is secured. Now, things change a little bit because if they complete the double play in any manner, the inning will be over. They still have that option to come home and hit the middle panel if they're unsure of a double play to knock down that runner at the plate. Cheap double play, step on third, throw to second, also ends the inning with no more damage.
Brandon Gregg up to bat right now. One out here in the top of the sixth. The Snappers did tie it. Runners everywhere. That was a little bit low, I believe.
It was ball one. Counts 1-1. Good pitch by Leday, 54 outside bar.
Man.
Gets up in the count 1-2. Leday really needs to bear down here. His Cajuns are depending on him. Briner on the mound for the Snappers has looked good. That's hit. Double play ball. Can they roll it? 3-2. I think they got it.
And they did.
do, and he gets out of the jam.
Oh, man. Red Devil tuned in at the right time. The Snappers did tie it up. We're going to go into the bottom of the sixth. And who knows, maybe you'll get that extra inning wish that you were wishing about. Who's up for the Cajuns right now?
If you did just tune in, it was 6-0 Cajuns. The Snappers took game 1, 3-1. Cajuns jumped all over them in the bottom of the first. The Snappers got 4 in the second. They got 1 in the third, and they just got 1 in the sixth to knot this game up at 6. Briner did have to come in for Weber in relief in the first inning.
Let me ask you this, Chad. Do you think maybe in Leday's head he was like, if this does go extras, then Roosh is not only going to have the 6th inning right there, he might have to start the 7th inning to try to shut them down. I don't know what your thought process is on that.
What inning did Leday come in this game? Boba started, I can't remember, in the second inning, I believe Leday came in. I believe Boba got through 1. Maybe Patricus can help me out with that. How many innings Leday through this game? I believe it's 5 that Leday's at right now.
Listen, TikTok, the Twitch
4.
chat is going bananas saying how great our production is here. You got to tune in, twitch.tv/Premier Wiffle. Come check us out. As Nathan Roosh is up, no outs, game's tied. There's 6s everywhere. Where's James Stein?
That's hit deep. I think it's
Not
going to stay
enough.
in the yard, though,
Not
and Harley
enough.
under it. Good play out there in deep center field. He hit that about 106 feet. He's got to get it about 15 more to get it over that fence.
Here's Andrew Leday, top of the order, coming up.
All right, Taylor's got to be careful. A walk is no good, but obviously a home run is the end of the game. So let's see what Taylor does. He's going to this submarine stuff that all of a sudden he's starting to feel out there.
That was a great eye by Leday right there.
First game, Snappers 3, Cajuns 1. That's a
Rolls him over.
rollover. Looks like an easy second out. Greg gets his momentum going forward, makes a easy, smooth throw. And here's Ryan Roosh, who's a big lightning in a bottle in himself, Trench. He can explode here and end this game himself right now.
Yeah, right now all the momentum is on the Snappers. Can Ryan Roosh do something for his team and win it right here? His wife watching.
Screwball just down. Tough pitch to control. A walk is not the end of the world here in this spot. Bo Evans on deck. Bo does have a few home runs on the season. Roosh hits one hard. What a play by Brandon Gregg. Which is that long arm out, knocks it down, and we go to extra innings, Trench. Free wiffle ball.
Oh, man, what a play by Brandon Gregg. We kind of saw it out of Shane Weber a couple innings ago, and he matches that as the Snappers are going to go into the top of the 7th and try to tack on some runs and win this one. Snappers Nation is looking lively.
So Leday, 4 innings he's thrown so far. He came in the 3rd, so this is his 5th inning of work. Roush has thrown 6, so
I think that's what Leday was a little bit worried about, that if it went extras, that he might have to come out. Leday, as you just said, only had 4 innings, could use a couple more. But I have to go with what you were saying in that 6th inning. I think you have to bring in Roosh, close it out immediately if you can, because Roosh is more of a pitcher that a bat might not touch a ball.
Correct.
Leday's a little bit more of a contact pitcher.
Yeah, Leday lives on this late break here. He gets a lot of weak contact, a lot of weak swings, uncomfortable swings, as you're not really seeing exactly what he's doing. He features a lot of pitches. And here's Harley, a lot of power. Leday has his number to a degree here, though, as he mixes it up a lot.
And Harley has Leday's number, as he's been really pounding the ball to the left side. I'd probably really close up that gap. It's very rare that you see Harley go to the right side.
It looks like it is closed a little bit more than it has been in the last couple of at-bats. Bo at shortstop, pretty pushed over towards third base. Leday with a very uncompetitive pitch there, and we go to 2-0. Don't want to start aiming at Andrew.
Yeah, you got to be fearful of Harley. He's known to just put it over the fence.
That's a hard hit, and they takes advantage of that
He
infield.
is on fire right now against Andrew Leday.
Yeah, he finds that 5-6 hole a couple times. They close it up, and what does he do? He pushes it right back to the other side of the shortstop. Hits it hard enough to get it to that pocket radar sign, and the Snappers have a leadoff double here, top 7. Here's Ryan Murphy. He's had a pretty good game at the plate here in the 6 hole, top of the lineup looming. Not sure Leday has what it takes to fool these Snappers right now. Look for Roosh to be in this game soon. Got to go after this 6-hitter, Trench. There's no room for him. I know there's an open base, but you'd like to use that base for Briner or Weber.
Oh,
It's 3-0 here.
floater.
Roosh 1 pitch away from having to come into this game. Kiefer McClendon, probably the game 3 starter.
And he's going to walk out right there, and Roosh is going to have to come in. No outs, runners on first and second against 3-time MVP Taylor Briner, who I guarantee you that hand he is not feeling anymore as you walk into extra innings trying to win this game.
I'm not sure about that. I think he's still feeling a little, but you see him picking up momentum tonight and getting a little more comfortable as the night's gone on the mound and at the plate. That free left hand from that cast is a little different feeling for him tonight. He's still getting used to how his wrist is healing.
Yeah, and I'm going to go after TikTok one more time during this game. You guys are just watching from one lonely little camera angle. When you go over to Twitch, you're going to see a bunch of different camera angles. Zoom ins, we got Skycam operators, people working the dungeon, commentators. Get in the chat, earn wiffle ball points, redeem some merchandise, jerseys, balls, all that good stuff. We'll see you over there on Twitch.
We've got Matt Patricus in the chat. He's the head umpire
Yeah,
during a
hanging
pitching
out.
change in there,
I
answering
love it.
questions for our viewers. Just fantastic. Here's Roosh. Here's Briner. Great pitch to the outside bar. He tinks it. Nothing Briner can do with that. 0-2.
Kind of speeds it up a little bit, comes in at 59. You can see Mama Roosh fully engaged at home.
As is wifey Roosh.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I thought you said Mama Roosh. Oh.
Well, yeah, I call her Mama Roosh.
Oh, yeah, I guess. All right, they just had a baby. That's fair. Briner hits one over Heavens' head. Snappers on the board. Ball gets knocked down in the outfield. Great play by Kiefer to keep that at just 1 run. But the Snappers, once again, as they did in the 6th inning, have their first 3 base runners on here.
Is Briner back?
Briner is about 80% of the way back, Trench.
And that's enough. Briner at 80%. Yeah. The league better be on alert as Shane Weber.
This league is statewide. This is in Las Vegas.
here at Hideaway Field. It is a beautiful night. Loving the temperature. The weather is great. Remember, this is Weber's farewell game.
That's going to dunk. No, Kiefer makes the shoestring grab, and boy, did his Cajuns need that play. The first out of the top of the 7th inning. Kiefer looked a little tricked on that play, but he's able to get those long arms extended down by his shoes and pull it in.
Kyle, are you seeing that down there from Sean Allen? J-Dub, he is feeling it.
J-Dub, once again, the hero in game 1 with a big 2-run home run in the 5th to break open a 1-1 game and give the Snappers the nod to start the night off. Good slider by Roosh. Wilson sees it, though. I kind of like Roosh staying at the sidearm angle against Wilson. I think when he goes overhand, he shows him the ball a little too much. Like that. Double play ball. Roosh pumps, throws. It gets away from him.
Back.
I don't think he's going to get it. No, it's over the time. It's going to be an error on Roosh. He threw a fastball. Who's that?
Roosh wanted him to go to the third base side. I don't know if that would have been the play. That would have been a long throw.
Yes, it would have been. That was a tough throw in itself. Going all the way to third would have been really tough.
And not only that, Chad, I don't know, has there ever been what happens if a throw is overthrown to the third base side and it goes past? That's an out-of-play ball.
One base. If it gets to the wall or it goes out of play, it would be one base for everybody.
That could definitely happen from being all the way on the right side.
Yeah, but that opening over there at third, they're loaded now. And that's a base hit up the middle.
Man.
Brandon Gregg blows this open in extras, and the Snappers have a 3-run lead. Down 6-0 in the first inning. Somehow, some way, they claw themselves back in this game, force extras, and now take control.
Yeah, it's a long game, and the Cajuns didn't score 1 run since the first inning, and they got their work cut out for them. If they're going to try to keep this alive, they need to stop the damage right now.
It looks like that wiffle ball was mailed out today, whoever asked that question a minute ago, so hang in there, and by Monday or Tuesday, you should have that in the mail.
Yeah, a lot of those balls going out. Speaking of balls being hit hard, my boy Harley up to bat. He's putting together a real good series.
Looks like I've just been told, Trench, that David Harley is a home run short of the cycle in this game, but a little information too late as he goes down looking.
Yeah, and that's a former Sand Viper. We won a championship together last year. He was an integral part of that.
Good piece.
Somebody's got to call it.
Wow, Murphy with a really good swing there. That was a good pitch, and he spun off his bat too much there. But the Snappers get 3. Nice.
Who do you put out on the mound? It's probably not going to be Taylor Briner as they have a 3-run lead. You don't want to waste another inning.
I think you do. They still have Brandon Gregg's whole arsenal available. Weber has a few innings left.
And J-Dub.
And J-Dub has... J-Dub did throw 6 innings in game 1, so he has 3 left. Weber got hit pretty good in the first. Did he walk out of this one? Weber walked out, I believe.
Yeah, and he did. I mean, that first inning was a long time ago as Harley makes a throw from about 110 feet and hits the backstop. What an arm that dude has. Very Ichiro-esque.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough assignment. I like Taylor going back out there. I don't care that they have a 3-run lead here. I don't want to give any momentum to this Cajuns team. A loss here by the Snappers would be completely detrimental, and it would be a ticket to losing this series tonight. You put Briner out there, you get this game, you go up 2-0, and you worry about game 3 later on tonight.
Yeah, that's a good call. The chat in complete compliance of what you're saying right there.
Yeah, there's no reason to goof around here. Wins in PLW are becoming hard to come by. Blowing games late is very hard to overcome. And here's Bo Evans looking to get to Leday in the 5-hole here. So 2 on, 2 out, and Leday would be up with a chance to tie it. That's what the Cajuns have to be thinking here. Evans, probably a good take. Tough pitch. Wants to make Briner throw strikes. But Briner does, and it's 1-2. Look for a screwball here, Trench. Oh, he drops down, throws a slider. It's hot, though. Evans with the peek back at the monitor and the prayer. And
you saw Briner give the old whoosh.
Screwball.
Breath.
No, Oh, drops back to the side again, tries to clip the outside
Full
bar or
count.
get a
Chad
chase.
Sparkles.
Yeah, this is a strike coming 100%. Bo better ready to swing. Briner's not walking him. There's the strike, and right to Caps, and they drop it.
This is gonna be a
and this
tough
is going to
play.
be no, they're out of time. They're out of time, and it's going to be an error for sure. Right into Caps' hands, and dropped and kicked, and a leadoff
man.
batter on for the Cajuns. Imagine that they can find 9, get this to 9 here, and force another inning here, Trench. Just imagine.
Oh man, Anthony Michael's gonna have to be disciplined up there.
Got to watch out for the double play here. That's the killer here. Got to find a way to put it in play with.
Wind blowing out.
There's a screwball down. Taylor has not located that screwball this game very well.
Starting to pick up. A long fly ball could go over the fence.
That's going to get down, and it does. It's off the wall. It's a triple, and the tying run's going to come to the plate quickly here. Cajuns answer back.
Wow,
with
the
a
pepper spray over there on the left side, Chad, as it's going to be a 9-7 game. Anthony Michael on third base, as you aforementioned, Sashi Boba, the tying run.
That's the first run they've scored since the first inning, Trench. So as soon as they need it, they come get it. Boba with a good piece of hitting. I wouldn't be tagging anywhere on that.
Taking a look.
There's no reason to even think about going. That run on third base means less than nothing here. Got to keep that tying run at the plate. Lede is on deck and guaranteed to bat here this inning unless they do something really dumb.
Ooh,
There's a
man.
screwball located well. Roosh swings through it.
Advantage. Briner, big time right here. Watch for that submarine pitch. I don't know if Roosh has seen this quite as often as the other people.
Throws one behind him there at 59. That can screw with the hitter a little bit, though. A little different angle and something different to think about. Let's see if he comes back in with something a little softer here. Screwball.
Yeah.
I think the tink, too, but it was 56. Roosh can't lay off.
It's hard to lay off that. It's 1 mile an hour, and here's Andrew Lede. All day Lede. Would love to bring this to extra innings.
5 home runs on the season. 21 RBIs coming into the night. Hitting over 500, on base percentage over 600. Up the middle,
That's
and
going to score a run.
This game's never ending with Lede there. He's always getting on base there, Trench. It's 9-8, and we've got a barn burner here, Trench, that's going to bring up Ryan Roosh, who's been pretty hot as of late, man, and he needs a clean double to tie this game up.
Mama Roosh. Blood pressure going through the roof right now as the submarine pitch comes in and a little inside at 58.
Good take there, good take. Get up, and the count is big. Make Taylor come in with a strike. Bo Evans on deck. He led this inning off with a single. There's the screwball. It's a pretty one, and it's a little higher than Roush liked it. It comes back, kisses the outside. Briner 1 strike away from taking a 2-0 series advantage. Swings and misses at the slider, down and hard. Snappers 2 games to none, Trench. What a game we just had there, 9-8. I got my extra inning prediction through in a game that I didn't say it in the 4th inning. And we're going to be back. 10 seconds, guys. Game 3, don't go anywhere.
Heartbreaking for the Cajuns. That's twice in the last 2 or 3 weeks that they've given up a monster lead. Sure, they scored 6 in the first, and then they had to try to get a 3 in the bottom of the 6th. Just the run production is not happening for them that game.
Well, they got 8, Trench. They got 8. You got to win when you get 8. I mean,
they went 6 innings right there with nothing. They got to tack on a couple in there. The move that a lot of people are going to talk about is possibly the Ryan Roosh move in that 6th inning. Do you bring him in and let Lede sit right there?
maybe a little too late in the 7th inning, too. One batter sooner, or could have been a different story. That last walk that Lede ended up walking out with, that was the winning run. That was the one that scored and put this game away. Actually, no, I think that was the 8th run, actually. But Yeah, the Snappers, they've been really struggling with their offense the last month, and they just exploded for 9 there.
They're really, really playing. When you have somebody like a Shane Weber, which they're not going to see for the rest of the season, number 4, they're playing it for him. And when you have that kind of energy that you want to play for someone, you're going to see a different type of team.
What do the Cajuns have here for game number 3, though? Do they answer back here?
Their bodies are looking a little like gravity has taken effect on them, not as chipper cheery as they were with that 6-run lead in the first inning in game 2.
So we got Kiefer McClendon for the Cajuns on the mound this game. Kiefer threw a complete game. I believe it was a shut. No, I believe he gave up 1 run against my Lightning in the opening week of the season, and we have not seen him since. So that's we're week 7 right now, and it was week 1, so it's been 6 weeks since he's been on the mound in a PLW game.
Wow.
So we'll see if Kiefer is sharp here or not. The Snappers looking to jump all over him.
You know who was the key component of that win, Chad? Who was it?
Ryan Murphy had a pretty good little game there. I don't know. Who do you think it was?
David Harley.
Harley, yeah, you're right.
It was Harley. I mean, you put up some of his numbers early. Hasn't really been having a good season, but 1 series ago, hit 2 home runs. He almost hit for a cycle this series. He's really coming alive. I think he loves his little spot here on the Snappers.
Well, one thing about Harley I can say for sure is that he has the most RBIs with the lowest average. His average is probably about 180 right now, and he's got 15 or 16 RBIs in the season. So he's he's making his hits count. He's coming up in big spots, and he's answering the bell in those spots. So good job, Harley. Way to find yourselves a home here in Snapperville.
Yeah, really happy for Harley Jr.
Just in time, man, because they've been really struggling, and they were climbing down the table, which is not what you want to do. Bottom 4 teams in this league are in danger of relegation. I'm getting handed the lineup here. It looks like the Snappers are going with Briner, Weber, Harley up to the 3-hole now.
Good.
Wilson in the 4-hole, Ryan Murphy. Jesse Capps is moving into the 6-hole, and it looks like the Snappers are going to bat 7 this game, Trench.
Okay.
That's not the best strategy decision. With their 2-0 lead, they're feeling it out there. They're going to add Scott Labrato to the 7-hole in this game. Brandon Greg Kelly, and then they still have Johnny Castaneda listed here as a sub. So they're still got those fingers crossed that Johnny's going to come marching through the sunlight here and come in with a big pinch hit late in this game. Was waiting on that.
You know, we coined this week Sweep Week.
It is.
And the Snappers are 1 game away. There'd be 4 sweeps this week. The only non-sweep was when the Legends took down the Bombers 2-1.
Yeah, the Legends had a slow start that night too, and their bats came alive on Monday against the Bombers in games 2 and games 3. They did drop game 1 and answer back nicely.
Yeah, Max, one-man show, just dropping bombs left and right against the Legends in that Monday night showdown. Old Trenchy got one out of there as well.
Yeah, I saw that, Trench. That was an impressive home run you hit there. You probably should be getting some more at-bats, I think, maybe.
I mean, the Legends are really good, though, man. That lineup's really hard to crack. It's up and down. They're as fierce as anybody in the league. And Anthony Garay, he's going to be coming back in a couple weeks, too.
We're just getting the innings squared up here for pitchers. Remember, it's 9 innings max, and it is the biggest penalty that you can take in PLW. If one of your pitchers throws a 10th inning on the night, you have forfeited the game. So you got to really know where your pitchers are at. Remember, 1 pitch over the course of an inning equals a full inning. So, for example, if you end up getting all 3 outs in an inning and don't start it, the other guy's going to have 1 inning pitched. But he threw in the second. So if you just look at the stats and see 1 inning, you might get confused because that's a 2. So you do have to be careful and make sure you're on top
I'm telling
of
you
innings.
right now, Chad, this is an advantage. Taylor Briner.
Yeah, 100%. Look for his first home run of the night here right now.
And he knows it.
There it is. See you later. Have a good day. Way out of here in the Jungle Gym Trench. 1-0 Snappers.
I mean, that was just too easy to call, Chad. We've seen enough wiffle ball and enough pitches come in and the style of pitching that these hitters like. That was, if there was a bet to say that was going to be a home run, that was a clear winner.
Yeah,
And then probably the furthest home run.
Briner's hit this season for sure. One of his
Man.
furthest ever, maybe, but that's saying a lot. He probably hit one further at one point, but that was
Watch out for Webb to double back this one.
a good take. He got a very good take by Weber. He's clearly amped up and anxiety flowing, and he's able to lay off, get ahead in the count, and get a slow one that up there he likes, but just not enough. 10K on the snappers. Ambitious bet. It looks like you're getting minus
Great
220 odds right
pitch.
now. Get your wiffle points in, guys. Lines are still open. You're getting about, like I said, plus 220 on the Cajuns, minus 220 on the snappers right now. So your 10K gets you back about 4,300 right now. Get your bets in, guys. Some decent value with the Cajuns. I don't count them out here. I still get the Cajuns as a favorite if I was to handicap this game. I think they're a small favorite.
Remember, this is the last game for Shane Weber. Very emotional for Emily there watching at home as she is a die-hard wiffle ball fan. She's here?
Oh, yeah, we do have Emily down the third baseline there. You can see her hanging
Love
out
it.
deep down the third baseline in the spectator area.
Trevor, you know what to do.
He kind of flagged that screwball a little bit, and it was ineffective. Today is a screwball that kind of hung right over the middle, and Wilson got a good hack at it, but fouls it back.
And there she is, Emily Weber, really rooting on her squad.
Nobody's going to donate you 25,000 wiffle points. You're going to have to make some sharp betting action here to build your points up. You see Wilson swinging a pitch down into the ground for the second out. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Good play by Sashi, but Casey rushes the throw and shorts it.
And Matty Petrakis is going to come down, and I think he's going to have a little chat with the manager of the Snappers right now, Chad.
It looks like they batted out of order, Trent.
What happens if that happens? I mean, when they insert the lineup, I think it's going to be an automatic out right there, as Taylor Briner did give the lineup
I don't know if we fix it. I mean, they submitted this. Yeah. I don't know. I haven't let anybody change their lineup once it's submitted.
I don't know about any of that. If there's a rule for that or what's going on in your mind there, Chad. I see your brain kind of.
Yeah, I mean, he wrote his own lineup out here and handed it. We had the first time tonight lineup cards, and they're not batting in their lineup card order. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm okay with this.
I mean, even if they, what would happen if they threw it? I mean, it's a dead ball now. Nothing could happen, but.
That's hit well by Harley, but Roosh, great left fielder, makes the catch, and just a Taylor Briner solo bomb to lead off the top of the first. Snappers get one run and lead 2-0, and Cajuns come up bottom one.
Obviously, that's going to be talked about in some of the chats after this game. What do you propose as something to fix that?
Well, now that we have lineup cards, the lineup card was handed to the Cajuns, so the Cajuns are also holding the Snappers lineup in their pocket. So Andrew can take that lineup right out and wait until they bat out of order and then challenge it. But technically, since the guy that was batting fourth hit third and he made an out, so they're not going to challenge after he makes an out. Once they don't challenge, that new lineup becomes official. So now the 5-hitter is due up because the 4-hitter legally hit. So they technically batted out of order again when Harley came up in the 5-hole when he was listed in the 3-hole. So technically Harley should have been completely skipped. We should have gone straight from the 5 to the 6-hole as their new lineup is legalized. But he also made an out. So technically everything is legal here, as Andrew never actually challenged the batting out of order or came out with a lineup card and said, hey, they batted out of order. So there was no beneficial spot for Andrew to do so. Now that Harley has hit in the 3-hole, he's legal, and I have Wilson due up in the next inning back in the 4-hole.
I'll be honest with Chad. I have no clue
Yeah,
what's going on.
I mean, that's so complicated that I don't expect anybody to understand what I said, but
Tom will.
that's what just happened.
Tom will. I bet Tom will chime in on this one.
Yeah, I don't expect anybody to follow. It's super advanced, MLB metrics of scoring. And
once you said metrics, you lost me.
yeah, I'm lost myself.
Here's Andrew Leday. Bottom of the first. Cajuns down 1-0. But in the future, we should probably have to follow those lineup cards.
We'll allow the lineup change this time, and Harley in the 5-hole. I don't understand how they can make that mistake, but it's done. Andrew hits a hard grounder. Kelly ranges over. Good play. Expect a low-scoring game now, Trench, again here. We called the high-scoring game in Game 2. Expect things to settle right in here. Wilson looks good in Game 1. Wilson announces that it's an easy out as Roosh steps into the box.
Oh, hanger right there to Ryan Roosh. And the Cajuns need to get some of that mojo they had back in that first inning of Game 2 as Wilson comes with that sweeper, barely misses.
Hard, late, breaking, looking for that top bar, just not quite clipping it. Again, just misses the outside bar. These are really strong takes by Roosh. Most guys in the league are offering at these pitches.
I think it's a full count.
Look at how far away from the plate.
Yeah, that's a full count. And
Roosh
he's going to take
stands.
a walk from Wilson.
Wilson only has 3 innings available for this game as the starter. That's how many innings you need to pitch in PLW to qualify for a win as the starting pitcher.
171,000 wiffle ball points were dumped on the Snappers to only 74 for the Cajuns. A lot of good pricing.
Plus 240 right now, yes. That's a tricky play for Harley, and he drops it.
No.
I didn't expect that, though. A little tricky, but he got there. And
Either did he. A very, very, very rare moment for David Harley to make an error, especially on a ball like that. He's made plays on balls 100 times harder than that, of course.
a lot of spin on that one, as you see it spinning from left into center field, and looked like he kind of stayed with it, but the ball hit his hands and spun right away.
Somebody redeemed a signed wiffle ball. I wonder who they're going to ask for.
Michael up now. He hit a couple balls hard here tonight. He's certainly locked in on Wilson. Floater
Yeah.
out in front, though.
Yes, it did. Okay, good call. Good call, Blue. Maybe 3 threes. I think only 2. I think only 2.
One out.
I said maybe.
Here in the bottom of the first, 2 runners on. Anthony Michael goes left side. GK grab it. All he has to
Cheap
do.
double play. Caps beautifully done, and they get the cheap double play there. Gotta avoid that hard grounder to the left side with first and second, Trench. It's an inning killer.
Oh, man. That is devastating as a hitter when that happens to you. I've done it myself multiple times. Also the only player to ever hit into a triple play, I think. Was I the only person ever to hit in a triple play?
That was season 0, though.
Oh, that didn't count.
That was season 0. That was the one that went to first base. Remember, the
Oh,
Calicos
right.
stepped on third. I remember it went Hutter to Davila to Kuther over at first. Yeah.
What is this? Kilted dad bod's getting a ball?
Bauer ball, points loaned. That means Trevor Bauer is signing a ball? Is that
He
who?
should. He's the best, one of the best players out here, best Skycam operator.
Classy guy, has the best partner in the league
Oh,
for
man.
Dragon Lady leading the donation. Miss her on the stream here tonight. I haven't seen her, I don't think. Could be wrong. Has she snuck in there, Trench? I haven't seen her.
I haven't seen her either.
Some people have better things to do on Friday nights, you know?
No, she doesn't.
She doesn't know.
No. Hot Coco's and wiffle ball.
All right, let's see if Kiefer can settle in here. It looks like after watching all the strong pitching we've seen tonight, Trench, it kind of looks like he's just lobbing him in there a little bit.
Yeah, that's what, it's worrisome right now if I'm the Cajuns.
You know, well, with Jesse Caps up there is a guy you can get away with kind of lobbing him in there
I
sometimes.
mean, that's a good pitch, a pitch like that.
That triple play was season 1, it was? Did we have that first base in play season 1? I don't think we did.
You know what I did later that game, though, Chad?
No, it couldn't have been season 1 because there was no Look at Roosh.
Oh,
What
man.
a cat. Did he catch it? He did, right? Jeez.
I think it was season 1 because that game, I think I hit a grand slam.
Yeah, but Trench, we took out first base. Stepping on first base was gone in between season 0 and season 1. So
I'll let you and Tom and the guys do that as we watched Ryan Roosh flare over and make an incredible play for out number 1.
there's never been a triple play in PLW, and there's never been a step on the bag and hit the strike zone with the bases loaded to get the tag at the plate. Neither play has ever occurred.
Well, you and Tom could go after that as we got a good.
No, I guess I'm wrong. Tom says I'm wrong. We didn't take out first base in between season 0 and season 1. We watched a whole season to that first base, and we took it out because it was a mess.
Here we go. Labrado up to bat. 2-2 count. 1 out. Easy ground ball. Should be easy for Sash. Makes a throw.
Right to you. Trench catches it, and that's not good for the Cajuns. That's going to get Scott Labrado a 2-base error.
Nothing gets by me, Chad.
I don't even think you caught that on purpose. I think it hit your hand.
No, I caught it.
You did? I don't.
Yeah.
You didn't move, man. That just hit your hand.
No, I saw it coming in.
All right. That was really nice catch.
Thanks, dude. I had 1 ball in my hand. Now I have 2. How appropriate. The crazy thing about that is I didn't even lift my hand. That's how close it was to hitting the top pipe and not becoming an error. Oh,
That's another
man.
one. See you later. No, Roosh gets up high, knocks it
Wow.
down. I think it's a single. Great play. Scottez Dobbins, first base umpire, comes right up with 1 base.
They say
I think that was gone. It's hard to tell if it was sinking at the last minute.
Taylor is becoming Taylor before our eyes as Weber jumps in to the box with runners on the corners. Oh, man. Oh, Weber gave me the stink eye right there because he knows that should have been a 3-run shot. Oh, man. Jeez.
Kiefer trying to find something a little different to throw Weber as he realizes Weber's on him. Goes to 2-2, just misses the outside corner there with that one. It was a good pitch.
Yep. 2-2 count.
Oh, and he gets him with a slider up and away.
Looks like he was.
Chases a little bit there. I think they need to relax a little bit against Kiefer. He doesn't have a lot. They've seen some really quick pitching tonight from Roche and Leday, and I think that even Sashi had some zip on that. His pitches are kind of floating a little bit.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you there. This is a big spot for J-Dub.
Oh, good pitch there. That looked like a 2-seamer. I'm not going to call that one a screwball. That was well located there. Looked like it was in the middle of the plate, worked itself away. It's 0-2.
Good take by J-Dub. Sometimes, every once in a while, will come around on a very inside pitch. Count's going to be 1-2.
Ooh, that's another decent pitch there, but it did stay up for Wilson a little bit. Fouls it straight back. Calm down, Cajuns. Keep it simple there. It's a good advice. 2-2 pitch, Kiefer to Wilson.
You can't do that.
No, that's...
He is lucky
He's
that
lucky.
that didn't come down a tiny bit.
I think so. He's got to keep the ball down in the zone here. Wilson turns on it. Boba blocks it down. He looks like he might be hurt, Trench. He looks like he's hurt.
No.
Oh, no is right. Oh, no.
Oh, that would be a devastating loss for the Cajuns.
Good play there by Sashi. I think he's okay. Little tweak, I think. I think it scared him a little bit.
Third out. You know, after they played in that extra inning game a week ago, he showed me his knee, and it was like swollen. I don't think he's quite, obviously he's not quite back to full form, but some of these injuries to these guys, they're lingering.
Dude, these are real injuries out here. And, like, if this was Major League Baseball, these guys wouldn't be back yet. They'd still be disabled. They would still be, recouping. And out here, wiffle ball, it's a little safer. It's a little quieter.
But you're still making the same cuts and the same moves and the same dives.
But mentally, you feel like you can get it done out here because it's just wiffle ball. But and once you get out there, this turf is not forgiving. And these...
Quick movements. The ball taking sharp turns on you. You step to your right to make a play, and all of a sudden the ball's shooting back to your left. You got to kind of plant quick and move the other direction. And there can definitely be some non-contact injuries if you're not careful. With Nathan Roosh, you know my story. Me and Tanik were playing some fast pitch when I first met him, and I blew my bicep tendon, and I couldn't do anything for months.
Months and months.
It was horrible.
Good pitch by Wilson, showing Nathan a little bit of speed there. Now look for him to slow it back down here. Come in with that patented stop and take a left pitch. Slow one. There it is, 48. Roosh way out ahead. You can see the effect that 64 had on him. And Wilson working quickly.
Well, he has the same arm slot and the same arm speed.
That's important.
So the same technique could deliver a 44-mile-an-hour ball or a 64-mile-an-hour ball.
They did get McClendon and Nielsen back into the 5 and 6 hole here. Nathan Roosh and Sashi Boba back to the bench. Or am I looking at the wrong lineup? I am looking at the wrong lineup. I was not. Oh, maybe this one's it.
Great pitch by J-Dub. Even better eye from Casey Nielsen.
Oof. Just misses the inside bar there. I believe we go to 2-2. Wilson with 1 walk already, looking to make this the pitch.
And it is, and he nailed that one. The Nielsen nail biter right there hits that container for a smoking double. And that's what they needed out of him. What they also really needed was Will Morris tonight. They're missing him big time.
They've lost 2 one-run games, right? 2 one-run games. Oh, no, 3-1 the first game. My bad. 3-1, and then 9-8 in an extra inning. Will Morris could have made a big impact here. Although the bottom of the Cajuns lineup has been okay here tonight, so they're not losing because they're not scoring runs. They did score 8 runs in that game. Andrew hits one up in the air. There's a big gap out there, but Harley has a ton of speed, runs it down, makes a good catch on the run. Just what the Snappers needed out there, trying to hang on to this 1-0 lead. Looking for a sweep tonight.
Wow, sweep week.
Started the week out in the bottom of the standings in last place, tied with the Lightning. The Lightning got swept this week, and here the Snappers are bouncing back and trying to climb back up into the middle of those standings and give themselves a chance. Once again, look how far Roosh is away from the plate. He's all the way at the back of that backstop. He makes sure he steps towards the plate.
Goes down 0-2, 2 outs, runner on second. Second out coming way, David Harley flashing by in that center field.
That's hit hard. That's
going to be a double, and he's going to get a little bit of that pink box all over his face next time he comes to Hideaway Field.
Great piece of hitting. You can see that's his goal. When he gets to the plate, he starts way outside so he can punch everything up the middle in the opposite field. I think that went off the wall. I don't know why he's not on second base. That's 2 straight Cajuns that have doubled, that have stopped at first base, so maybe they need a little rule rundown. Wilson talking to Ryan as he's pitching, and that didn't go very well for him.
He said, good swing mid-windup.
Another ineffective pitch, and Bo Evans up in the count, 2-1. Wilson better bear down right here and now.
Oh, man.
Bo does not see that pitch trench. That was part of the reason why I kind of traded him along. Don't think he sees those balls away. Big hole out there. And then Wilson throws him a pitch that he can handle for some reason after watching that last swing. And he's lucky he fouled it off.
Yeah, it needed to weight back on that one just a tiny bit, but a lot easier commentating up here than when you're in that box going against some nasty stuff.
A good adjustment by Bo there. Good adjustment. Bo's learning out here still not near his ceiling. He's still growing and adjusting to this wiffle ball game coming from college baseball.
Remember Bo recovering.
That's hit deep. It's high. Harley jumps. It's gone. Bo Evans.
You traded him? You let him go?
I traded Bo Evans away.
He just hit a 2-run home run.
He hit his 4th home run of the season right there, and he puts the Cajuns on top 3-1 here. Cajuns desperately needing to scrap a game out here tonight, and Bo Evans found
should be ashamed of yourself.
I'm glad
there.
I found that man a nice home with the Cajuns right now, and yeah, my bad, I guess, right?
You traded him away because he might swing at some stuff on the outside, and then he turns on that one.
He made a good adjustment that at bat. Very impressive.
Good swing by Bo Evans. Remember that dude just had surgery like 2 months ago. Looks like he's recovering real well.
How many guys in this league do we have that just had surgery? Like 10?
I mean, we're getting up there in age, man. I probably need one.
Jason Stevenson probably needs about 4. We probably got double-digit guys coming off of surgeries. Sashi,
Gray,
Taylor.
Easy play for GK Rabbit. Throws it to the backstop, but the damage has been done off a Bo Evans home run to left, and David Harley barely missed that one as he's got a lot of hops. It looks like Sashi is limping around right now. It looks like Weber and Sashi, they're doing that old scene in Jaws where they're talking about all their injuries. Look at my knee, this. I got a screw here.
We got Weber, we got Briner, we got Sashi, we got Bo. That's 4 guys on the field that have had surgery since 2022 started, basically. Anybody else?
I mean, when you get up there, you start, tacking on, revolutions around the sun. You're more prone to get injured.
Yeah, you're right about that. Getting old is tough here. I wish it was 2003 still, and I would have been far more effective out here than I am.
But you don't take very good care of yourself.
I take great care of myself.
I see you with like bags of Cheetos.
Get out of here. I'm 46 years old. I've never been a pound overweight in my life, and
I don't know.
I'm healthy as can be, buddy.
What's your blood panel look like? That's what I'm concerned about.
It looks good, buddy. Don't you worry. I don't eat that much junk.
Well,
as Uncle B brings me a bag of Flaming Hot Cheetos and a Snickers bar.
Total garbage, man.
I didn't ask for it. He just brought it to me.
You'll eat it, though.
I might.
Here's Murphy.
Every time he's stepped across the first base side, he's thrown a screwball.
Long
Murphy,
fly ball.
deep.
Anthony Michael at the wall.
Ooh, I think that might be an error, Trench. 2 hands on it, and he had room. And
he knows.
He just bricked it.
He knows. You got to catch. Yeah, he's got to catch that.
Murphy looks really good with the stick tonight. He's put some good swings on the ball. That's a great swing to stay back on that. Drive it up the middle, Trench. Really impressed.
Do you hear that? It's the wiffle ball gods waking up from their slumber, and Anthony Michael knows that bad things happen when you make an error. As Harley.
I'm going to call my second home run of the game here, right here. He's going to tie it up right now. Oh.
That's his pitch.
It's kind of a floater. It didn't really move a lot.
This is a total advantage Harley situation, but he is down 0-2.
Good take there. He's been known to chase those. I think he has to make it a little more competitive.
Oh, man. He is hacking it up there. He's just become a different player right now.
That's it deep, and it is gone, and I have called my second home run of the game. Snappers tie the game up, and we have a series on our hands tonight. I know it's 1, but boy, this game is going to go to the end, Trench.
It is. It's just right now, McClendon does not have the stuff against some of these veteran PLW guys. That is right in Harley's wheelhouse. He takes advantage of that, and he ties up the game, and he's having himself a series.
He might have his average up to 200. He came in at 152, and that's at least his fourth hit of the night.
Yeah, that'll jump it right up as Jesse Capps is up to bat right now. I mean, those balls are just coming in, like you were saying. Like, it feels like he's just floating them in there.
We did see Jesse before the series today. Had a long session with Taylor in the outfield on his swing. They were out there for 20 minutes, Trench, working on Jesse's swing, knowing that he might have to play a role tonight with a couple of players missing. Jesse hits a hard ball. Sashi beautifully played right to his third baseman. Roosh of the Nathan variety throws it to the backstop for an out, a much-needed out for McClendon.
I'm a little nervous with this Cajuns pitching staff.
Once again, the Snappers did bat 7 this game. That's going to bring up Scott Labrado. Good swing by Labrado. Out in front. Count goes to 0-2. Just got to relax and wait back on McClendon here.
Latho.
That's a floating hanger right there, Trench.
Labrado, he could really, when I watched him in the tryouts, he's one of those old school wiffle ballers, man.
The dribbler, the dreaded dribbler, McClendon picks it up, flips it casually to the backstop. 2 outs. Back to the top of the order in Briner.
McClendon remembers what Briner did the last time he saw him in inning number 1. He's going to try to pitch around him, but if he doesn't, watch out for home run number 2. And you can see immediately he wants no part of Briner, and Briner knows it. This is going to be a hitter's count right now. Yeah, he might just be doing the intentional walk right here as you can't throw him a cookie. And he swings a little bit late. It's going to be 3-2. He's just seeing if he could get anything to take advantage of.
I don't even know if I would have called that a swing. I think that ball was already a ball by the time he swung. I'm not sure I would have allowed that as the umpire.
And here's Weber. This is a good position for Weber as he already has a walk and now has to hit strikes for sure.
How long is Andrew going to let Kiefer just lob the ball in here? Like
This might be a
Trench?
2-run jack. And Weber's not wasting any time. If something's coming close, he's taking a hack.
He's got to throw more pitches like that right there, Trench. He had some mustard behind that. That had some movement on it. He's got to stay with that. He's got to flick that wrist a little more and stop lobbing him in there.
2-2 count. This could be bad.
Screwball hit deep, and it's right to Roosh. A little top spin on that. Kind of fell out of the sky. But the damage done. A 2-run home run by David Harley ties this game at 3 after 2.5.
Yeah, we're going to have to see what happens on the mound the next time the Cajuns come out. Are they going to keep it with Kiefer there or maybe switch to Roosh or Leday?
Roosh has 2 innings left, and Leday has 4 innings left.
It looks like we have an Uncle B sighting out there on the container.
Is that what that is?
He had a home run during his series.
Yeah, he also came up last night in the 6th inning, and it was a 4-1 game, and the bases were loaded, and he hit a fly ball that looked like it was certainly gone off the bat. But
I saw it.
But it ended up right out at the 113 sign, and nothing but a fly out. And the Warbirds couldn't grab themselves a win last night in a tough series against the Vaders.
He is a character, but it looks like he's back in the PLW. He kind of got lost. I think he took his VW bus and was out in the mountains for a while, but he wants back in. But we have a 3-3 tie, bottom of the 3rd.
Here's Nathan Roosh, I believe in the 6th hole. I was not handed a Cajuns lineup, Trench, before this game. We're going to have to work these lineup cards out with the managers a little more. Try and keep things facilitated here. Hard ground ball.
Look at GK.
Greg Kelly.
Look at that dude.
Short. Scottez Dobbins in excellent position to make that call. Good job, Dobbins, coming down here to help out tonight. We were a couple of stream team guys short Dobbins to the rescue at the nick of time. Got out of work just in time. Thanks, Scottez, One's manager, doing an excellent job with that team.
Man, GK is really, really special over there. He found a nice little home in snapper land on third base. And as he keeps getting that shoulder healthy, those throws are going to be stronger and stronger every day.
Good take there by Nielsen. It was an easy pitch to chase. Wilson does like to drop it in late, but that one stayed up.
Oh,
That's the one he might have wanted to take a hack at there, Trench.
yeah. I mean, as we know, it's so easy to call it up here, but when you're in that box, man, things are a little bit more intense.
Yeah, that pitch kind of stops and hits the brakes, so it can be tough to read. There is a beauty by Wilson. That is known as the Wilson right there. Finds the top bar. And
That's what he does. It's really difficult to get a bat around on that because it's over your shoulder. And then the last second, it breaks 3 feet, hits the tin, and you're walking to your dugout with a strikeout looking.
Wilson moves his defense around a little bit. They're giving Andrew the entire first base line. They got him played up the middle by Caps, Greg over in a second base position. And it looks like Wilson's working him away. So I think Greg might want to take another step or two to his right toward third base. I think he's a little too far up the middle with where Jesse is playing. And Andrew's very capable of taking those outside pitches for easy singles.
Little tip action right there. I like that he went back to that pitch.
Andrew looks a little off balance against Wilson here. He's not taking his normal swings. Ooh, comes in with something hard. 65 or more to the head in PLW is a hit batsman. A walk is charged to the pitcher if it happens. It's only happened one time in PLW history. I hit Michael Dean in the head, 66.
Didn't you?
Yep, that's hit by Andrew and Harley right under it. Don't expect him to drop any more out there tonight, Trench.
Or for the rest of the season.
Yeah, that's about fair. And we're 3-3 through 3, a fantastic game here tonight. We knew it. We knew we were going to have some good ones tonight, Trench. So far, the Snappers have been fortunate and able to come through at the end.
Let me ask you a question. When it was an 0-2 count and he did get hit in the head at 65 and you are Andrew Ledet, because you're down in the count 0-2, would you take the base right there?
I think you have to take the base right there unless it's like an extreme situation of, Randy Dalby's up and there's 2 on and, we don't want Dalby to walk there. But it is the offensive team's option to take that hit batsman and that walk to the pitcher, 65 to the head. There's a couple spots I can see in offense.
I think we need to make a emoji thing that says 65 to the head.
65 to the head. I kind of like that. That's a pretty good emoji.
That'd be nice. Is that something? How do you make those?
I will have to get on GK to get on that.
65 to the head. Listen, TikTok, get on over here to Twitch. We're having a lot of fun. A lot of camera angles, instant replay. Get your wiffle ball points in next week, as obviously it's a little too late. We're deep in this game.
Kiefer, that's just a floater.
He's hanging around, but this ball might be hanging out in the Dodo's Garden of Eden if he does that again.
Ooh, there's a good little pitch there. Game count, 2 games to none Snappers. 3-1 in game 1. 9-8 in extras in game 2.
And you have to remember, Kiefer, this is his first season. He's just getting it together, and I think Andrew Ledet kind of wants to see what his pitchers have. Man, he's really smoking those balls, J-Dub.
That's a base hit for sure. It did get through
What was
Sashi
the
over
exit
there. But
velo on that? Had to
let's
be
see if we can see it here on the screen, on the replay. 83.
That's a good hit, man. I can't believe I took a wiffle ball at 93 to the dome piece.
Hey, you can see that radar reads the pitch first and then the exit velo after. So you'll see the 2 readings on balls that are put in play. Most of them, sometimes when the balls hit right down the lines, the radar doesn't pick it up because it's more centrally reading.
He's got to be careful throwing that to Murphy, as he's a softball guy. It doesn't matter where that thing is. If it's in range, it might go.
Roosh has been pretty quiet tonight. That's what happens when you're down 2 games to none. He doesn't have too much to say right now. look for Rouge to get going here if the Cajuns want to grab this game, and they'll feel good about getting one game here tonight. The Cajuns will. The Snappers really need all three with where their season is sitting right now. Murphy having a great night. Snappers might have found a 5-6 hole hitter for the rest of the season here in Ryan Murphy. He looks really good tonight.
And they're going to go to Rouge right now.
Rouge has 2 innings remaining.
Yeah, they have to. So we'll go through the 4th and 5th. He could get in it. And that's not a bad move to go to him, as I think David Harley might be. Is he up to bat?
Is Jesse Caps up or is Harley up? Yeah, I'm not sure. Who just got on base? It was... Who's up? Harley is up.
There's Kirby Bucket coming out to the mound. I want to thank the Bucket for doing his part here in the PLW.
Rouge gets 8 warm-up pitches as a brand new pitcher. Returning pitchers to the mound get 3 warm-up pitches.
Cassidy. Yeah, I mean, I don't even remember getting hit by it. I just took it to the forehead and moved on. You know what's so funny, though? The other, a few days after, I was like, what's this red spot on my head? And it was from that ball. I forgot about it.
Sure it wasn't a mosquito bite, Trench?
Yeah, it might have been. I mean, we don't have many mosquitoes out here.
Yeah, I don't think we have any, actually. That's kind of the reason I moved from Massachusetts to Vegas, to get away from bad weather, bad roads, and bugs.
Here we go. Big spot for David Harley. He's putting together one of his best series of his career.
Two on, nobody out here in the 4th, 3-3 game. Roush looking to put this rally out here. Harley way away from the plate also. You can see how far away from the plate he starts, and you can see where that left foot strides to when he swings. He steps right into the zone, allows him to cover that outside corner. Roush trying to pick that outside corner as it looks open to him from the mound. He finds a good one on 2-1, evens the count.
That was an awesome pitch.
Taking advantage of Harley's position. He's going for it again out there. Doesn't think Harley can reach that pitch out there, but it's created a full count here. Now he might have to come in with something a little better to hit. A walk here is bad news for the Cajuns.
Yeah, I'm going to try to go low and outside. Make him swing away.
That's up the middle, off of Rouge's hands. They go to 3rd, and then they go to 2nd for a double play.
Great action by the Cajuns right there. They were really tossing that ball around fast.
That was really well done.
Watch this instant replay. Look how fast they make this play. Bang, bang.
Good play there, plenty of time. He might have actually wanted to throw the ball home there for the triple play, Trench. Probably would have been late, but...
At least the attempt would have been cool.
Yeah, it would have been cool to see an attempt. I think he caught it, and he threw it so hard to him at 2nd, he was a little off balance when he caught it, kind of with his body momentum going to the outfield.
If Rouge would have made a clean play right there, then they would have definitely had time.
Caps takes a couple of balls here. Caps calls for a strike, gets a strike, and swings through a strike, although it was 1 mile per hour hot and would have been ball 3. Rouge comes in a little quicker there, fills the count back up again.
Cuba Can, thank you for the subscription.
You don't want to walk Jesse Caps in that spot. It's just Rouge's first walk. Rouge only has 1 inning remaining after this, so it's not that detrimental to his day as Scott Liberato steps in. 2 on, 2 out. Still a 3-3 game. Good take by Liberato.
Yeah, Rouge really needs to find the pan right here. You don't want to throw too many balls.
That's going to find it, maybe. I think it was bouncing, right?
It did.
Ball, Matt? Ball. 2 and 1.
Oh, man. He's going to have to come in right now. You do not want to load the bases. And that would have been ball number 3.
Yep, 2nd batter in a row.
But instead, evens up the count, 2-2, 2 runners on.
When you get the 2-1, you really got to sit on a pitch you can handle. You don't want to be taking 2-1, lazy swings like that.
If I'm Nielsen, I got to be ready on the right side.
Oh, and he walks him, Trench. He walks him. It's going to have to be Leday coming in with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Back to Taylor Briner.
Oh, no.
Got to be Leday. There's no other choice here. And you see Andrew walking out to the mound. He has 4 innings left this game, so he can pitch through the 7th if it gets there. Oh, and Kirby with an accident.
Oh, no. I hope
Oh, no.
Kirby's okay.
GK is probably...
I think he blew the
sick.
transaxle.
He might have.
This is not a good matchup right now for Ledet. He cannot walk anybody, but you also don't want to give up a home run as Taylor Briner looks like he's coming in full form. Is it possible for Taylor Briner to become Taylor Briner and become an MVP again?
I'm going to say no. I'm going to say that he is too far behind the 8 ball here, 7 weeks into the season. And there's a couple of players just having outstanding seasons. And a couple of other players on the ones, their numbers are pretty good too. And they seem to be heating up. But Dodos and Ledet going to be tough to get past this season.
What if Briner hits a grand slam right here, though?
Yeah, well,
Would it be
that's... I mean,
a couple percentages more towards it.
I'll give him a couple percentage points. He's at about 0.2% right now to win MVP, but he'll jump up to a full 1% here. He did come into the night hitting 185 with a 231 on base percentage, 1 homer and 7 RBIs. He does have a home run tonight. No, I think he might have 2, right?
I think he has 2 home runs.
I think he has 2 as well and a couple of other hits. He's definitely bumped his average up over 200 here tonight. Look for it to be at 300 in a couple of more series.
Oh, no.
No, I'm not sure Andrew's ready for this spot here right now. He has struggled this season a little bit, Trench.
Watch out for a Tarantino's right up the pipe. He does not want any part of Taylor Briner. He just invokes fear into pitchers.
Weber on deck.
So does Weber.
He gets a little flare, but he's unable to. It hops around the cheap line for a minute, but doesn't spin forward. It's just a strike. We fill up. I believe this is the 5th consecutive full count right now. Taylor.
What pitch you looking for right here, Chad?
Screwball.
If he's going to throw a screwball, McClendon and Nielsen have to be ready on the right side.
Taylor still hurt. Trench, you can see it's taking him a long time to get the feeling back in that wrist. He is not happy. A lot of at-bats tonight with that cast off for the first time. He's adjusting. They're egging him on a little, get in the box. He's telling him, I'm going to take as long as I want.
Oh, man.
And he's still trying to get the feeling back in his hand. Andrew Ledet iced on the mound here. 3-2 pitch. Is it the screwball? What do you guys think? Slider to the outside bar or a screwball to the outside bar? One of those two. Andrew takes his sweet time as well. Kicks and deals. It's the screwball. It's hit well. It's deep. It's back. It's gone. Grand slam. Taylor Briner. And the Snappers take a 7-3 lead.
He's the best player in the league. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what his numbers are. I've said it time and time again. A Taylor Briner, two-handed, is the best player. He showed it season after season after season. And that's a grand slam. And I'm telling you, dude, this dude is on a tear. He wants to get those Snappers up into the playoffs, and I'd watch out for them.
Dude, he's toughing out some pain tonight down there for sure. There's really no doubt about it. He got that cast off about 4 days ago. You could see his whole wrist and thumb area were kind of swollen still and out of place. And he did mention he was a little more nervous about tonight because the cast has been protecting his hand, but now he's kind of exposed out there. Damage done. Briner, grand slam.
I wonder if it makes you think like, well, you can't walk him because then Weber's up. And those guys do the same exact thing. When Taylor hits a home run, or if he doesn't, Weber hits a home run. I mean, what were their numbers last year home run-wise?
Well, in the summer, they hit 33 and 29, and I believe third place was Couts with 25. So they ran away between the two of them with the home run title in the summer.
So, I mean, every game...
It was a 39-game season, and 33 and 29 they hit. So pretty much he was almost on pace for 1 a game. He was it for a long part of that season. He cooled off a little towards the end of the summer.
So then if it wasn't Briner, every 1 1/4 at-bats, it's Weber or something like that, right? So every game, one of those guys are popping off for sure. And it kind of shows, and unfortunate for the Snappers that Weber has to go and get some surgery. Otherwise, I'm telling you, man, these Snappers... they'd be coming. You get Manny back at some point. They'd be coming for some teams up there in the PLW standings.
Let's have a little quick PLW trivia. How many pitchers in 4 seasons?
Don't answer this if you know it. Let some people in the chat that don't, give them a little shot.
How many pitchers this is the middle of the 4th season. It was a 42-game season, a 42-game season, and a 39-game season, and now we're about 20 games into this season. How many pitchers have thrown 100 innings in the PLW?
I'd like to guess.
I think you should take a guess. I won't give the answer away after you guess here. I'll give it an inning and let some people think about that.
I'm going to let it go and see what kind of names are going to be up there. But I got a name in my mind that I think a lot of people aren't going to pop off.
No, not name. How many? How many people?
Oh, how many
How
people?
many people have notched 100 innings in their PLW careers?
1, 2,
Pitching, yes.
100?
Oh, Roush didn't see that pitch. We got Weber out to the mound here now, it looks like.
I'm going to say it's like 8 or something like that. I'm going to go with 8.
I believe I am in the last place of those 100.
And Roosh, that's gone.
Wow, Trench.
Oppo Boppo.
Stares at it. If this was the major leagues, he's getting a fastball to the grill in his next time for that stare down, but that ball was crushed.
Man.
His opposite field power is incredible. I think a lot of PLW players need to take note of where he's standing in the batter's box and his approach and how he steps toward the plate to hit. It's something you don't see in baseball, but it's working for Ryan out here tonight, and the Cajuns put a little dent back in that snapper's lead.
Yeah, they got to. They got to really try to work some batters, get some players on the bases, and do those types of things.
Bo Evans hit a 2-run bomb earlier in this game.
Is it going to drop? No, Harley there.
It does drop. Wow. What an effort by Harley, but unable to come up with it. Bo Evans is really heating up here tonight.
I wonder if Harley in the last second saw a little flash of Taylor Briner. That might have made him kind of turtle arm it a little bit, but what a play. And just like that, no outs. Runner on first as Anthony Michael is up. A lot of game left here. Harley once again out there going to make the play.
Good take by Kiefer there. That pitch is outside. Hard hit by Kiefer. I think that's his first knock of the night.
Yeah, the Cajuns coming alive.
The answer to that trivia question is 11. 11 pitchers have thrown 100 innings. Another hard hit.
That's going to
Cajuns
score a run. The Cajuns chili pepper sauce in it. And they're right back in this game.
You know what this reminds me of, Trench?
What?
Inning 1 of game 2 when they put that 6 spot up and they just started going with the pitches, simplifying things and just putting good contact on the ball. Balls in play, create base runners.
Here's Andrew Leday. 1 out.
Representing the go-ahead run just like that. And the Snappers are going to have a little conversation about how they want to approach Leday here. He's able to put the ball anywhere.
I'm fucking fat. I mean, freaking fat and slow.
I wish I could name all the pitchers that have done it. I don't have the list here. I'm struggling on my phone bringing up stats. It's certainly Weber, Briner, Patricus,
Gannon,
Tannick,
Fernandez, Alex.
Definitely.
Levi Lawrence.
I'm going to say maybe, probably. Yeah, I think you're right. Levi. That's hit deep, but it's in play, and Taylor playing in the right spot in front of that 102 sign makes the catch. Trench, you have a no, you might not. Actually, Trench probably doesn't.
I only have like 75 or something. 80.
Stein may or may not. Mayo definitely does. I'm going to say Jason Walker's one of those guys as well.
Ooh, I bet he's right on the cusp. Left side, GK. Oh, he barely misses that.
Piece. He's calling a piece, and I think he got one. It looked like it hit his arm for sure.
Yeah, the direction of the ball changed.
Yep, it certainly did. You can see on the replay that ball did catch a piece of his forearm, the top of his forearm.
And listen, GK's the last guy to lie, as the production and instant replays and zoom-ins are all because of him. As here's Bo Evans, 2 outs, bases juiced.
Career, yes. 100 innings in their career. Bo.
Casey Taravella?
Nah,
not yet, huh?
Maybe Osgood.
Oh, man, that's a shot. That might be a grand slam, and it is an unbelievable shot by Bo Evans going oppo, and the Cajuns jump on top of the Snappers, 9-7.
Oh, my, what are we watching out here tonight, Trench? This is insane, Bo Evans.
Back and forth. Usually the guys that you wouldn't think be getting it done are getting it done. A grand slam by Briner last inning. A grand slam by Bo Evans this inning. And Noob has to go up top with 10 gifted subs. We are watching some serious wiffle ball action. And if the Cajuns could hang on, this would be a big momentum swing, Chad.
Don't forget, 1st to 15 wins immediately out here.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah, we're a little ways away, but you never know.
Anthony Michael, little runner to GK. And you can see the frustration on GK. If he could have that one back, he feels like he could have stopped that one. What a game we got, Chad Phillips.
Back and forth they go. Snappers jumped out with a leadoff bomb by Briner. Cajuns took a 3-1 lead. Snappers tied it up at 3. Then the Snappers a little later on hit a grand slam to take a 7-3 lead. Cajuns immediately find a 6-ball. Who was the PLW leader in all-time grand slams? I'm not even going to let people guess that. That's Trench Pacone right here next to me in the booth.
Bang, bang.
I'm going to say he has 8.
No, I think I have 7.
7. That sounds right. You had 5 in a brief period of time.
I could have had... Actually, I think I have 6. I think I could have had 8, except 2 people robbed me last season. One off you.
Hewson got you on a grand slam.
Oh, my God.
I did throw that pitch, and Bruson over by that little Batty Bakery sign made a nice little grab.
Man, oh, man.
Still got 2 more innings. Yeah, that is correct, and the Snappers need to not hang their heads. They just need to get those bats woken up. Who's out there on the mound now? It looks like Nathan Roosh is coming in. This is a save situation for him. He got a save last week. He's been working on his pitching. Ryan, his brother, helping him out a lot here. Ryan has 1 inning left, so they're going to put that inning in the bank in case his brother gets in trouble. And Roosh didn't walk out last inning, did he, Matt? Roosh is still available, right? So, yeah, he is. Ryan, I believe, has 1 walk. Oh, he walked out? Oh, my apologies. Ryan Roosh is walked out. So it's Leday, and if they get in trouble again.
Let's see what J-Dub does here. He's got that glove on. Man.
Wilson with a good swing. I like to see him using that part of the field. Trench.
Rocket down the left side.
He has not made swings like that enough down here in this league. That's how he takes himself from a 250 hitter to a 350 hitter right there. We play 6 innings down here, 6-inning games, 3 6-inning games. Snappers won game number 1, 3-1. Snappers won game number 2, 9-8. It was 6-6. We had an extra inning. Snappers scored 3, and the Cajuns got 2 back and had a chance to win it. But the Snappers lead 2-0 right now. Here's Ryan Murphy. He's had a good night at the plate. Takes a little riser. Nathan dropped his arm down a little. That was a good take. Pitch looks good coming in. Murphy's showing some really good strike zone discipline tonight, which is the first task in becoming a good hitter in this league. Starting with that 0-1 count. Put you behind the 8 ball right when you're walking into that batter's box. 2-1 count here. We go to 3-1. I'm looking for a red light here, to be honest with you. Although Murphy has seen it well, I wouldn't be surprised if he swings. He takes 50 right down the middle. Looked like he did have the red light. I mean, not something I would have been saying last year, but they kind of maybe want Andrew back on the mound. They handled the day very well tonight. Takes a good pitch up, and here comes the tying run back at the top of the order. Three-time MVP, reigning Cy Young Award winner Taylor Briner cast off
No,
tonight.
Harley's up.
Oh, my bad.
And this, I believe, is advantage Harley as well,
Harley caps and then Briner.
as he's really seen the ball this series.
Oh, the Snappers are batting 7 this game. I did forget about that. So it's Harley caps Labrado. Oh, good pitch by Nathan. 51 on the outside bar, and he finds himself up in the count 0-2 quickly. Good take by Jesse. He does have pretty good strike zone discipline. He's been working on that swing. He's a tennis player. He was very awkward swinging the bat 3 seasons ago. Nathan sneaks one by him and for the second out of the inning.
Yeah, good pitch by Nate right there. I think Harley was looking for a little something more left to right, so it goes down the pipe 53 as Jesse caps up to bat right now. He kind of just flicks it in there like a frisbee.
Gets ahead 0-2 again. I got ahead of myself talking about Caps a little early there. The last batter, that was Harley. Caps is the tennis player here.
What a game this is. It's been a good series.
Good take. Evens the count 2-2. Nathan's going to look to throw a strike here. He does not want to see Taylor Briner this inning, I'll tell you that much. You'd like to have him in the leadoff spot next inning if possible.
That's
Jesse
going to do it.
can't pull the trigger. 1-2-3 inning for Nathan Roosh, and the Cajuns are 3 outs away.
Look at the momentum shift. It goes from Cajun Snappers. Now it's back to the Cajun side as we go into the bottom of the 5th. And I got to tell you, the Cajuns would love to tack on just a couple more to ensure that they could get this Game 3 win.
Clearly, no lead is safe tonight as we've had a wild one out here.
I want to thank all our viewers coming in, watching this series. What do you guys think so far? As we've got a nail biter brewing as Taylor Briner up on the mound for the Snappers.
Get that poll up as soon as the last out is attained of who you guys want to see up here in the booth tonight. Thinking about guys that might be possibilities. Let's think there. What do you got?
Me, I'm gonna call my boy David Harley out there, man. He's doing some really incredible things for this team tonight, making some defensive plays, hitting some balls that he normally hasn't been hitting throughout the season. He wouldn't be a bad one on the Snappers.
Let me throw Taylor Briner out there. I don't think
Taylor
he's been
is
up.
one,
He hasn't seen the booth this year, which is odd for him. He's having a pretty big night on the mound and at the plate.
We'll see. We'll see what the poll does.
Bo Evans, there you go. There's a good name to throw out there. Tom Gannon. Bo is having a pretty big night. He's been up in the booth a couple times.
J-Dub, he's been having a good night as well.
J-Dub won game 1 for these Snappers, too. Snappers with a lot of heroes tonight. See if the Cajuns can scrap a game out here and salvage this series. You don't want to get swept. Cajuns have had the lead. In game 2, couldn't hold on to a 6-0 lead. Taylor, a good pitch there. Taylor probably should have been out there last inning with that 7-3 lead, Trench. They went to Weber, and it's his last night out here. That might have had something to do with it, but didn't work out. Screwball, not quite as much break as Taylor's used to there. It stays away. Count evens. Yeah, Weber's another decent selection, too, with him being his last night. So Weber, Harley, Wilson, Briner.
All those guys.
Wow, he had a lot of spin in that. Kiefer McClendon
some topspin on that. When it bounced on the ground, it kind of just zipped by Harley.
Yeah, that thing was moving in a weird manner, and it's going to be a double for the Cajuns, looking for an insurance run. There's Casey Nielsen. Should be a good booth vote tonight. Want everybody to get their votes in as soon as this game's over. Let's try and get up to a couple hundred votes on this one. Good eye by Casey. He's got pretty good plate discipline in this league. Reason why he's able to hit over 250, swinging at strikes. There's a strike. And
Does it go
fights
fair?
it off. It
No.
hits the pylon, which is a foul. If it touches that pylon in any manner, it is a foul ball. Records are 10-10 for the Cajuns right now, 7-13 for the Snappers.
Barely misses that outside bar. Yeah, that's one of Taylor's patented pitches. High and tight, top bar.
Casey's a shorter player, so he is a little exposed up there. If you can see in a baseball game, that pitch is probably high on him. But here, the shorter players have to be aware that those pitches at their letters are going to clip that top bar.
You can see Andrew Leday coming to the box, one out, runner in scoring position. He would love to get him home.
It's a good spot to walk him right now.
Why walk him when you could hit outside bar at 52 and put him in a hole 0-2?
Yeah, I don't expect him to walk him, but it would set up the double play and with first base open, get their best hitter out of the way. Taylor's going to throw him a couple of funky ones here, see if he can get a chase. Drops down, looking for the outside bar.
Look at where Harley's playing in front of that container, trying to monitor where Leday might slap one back to the left side opposite field. Ooh.
Andrew turns on that and hits it way up in the air, foul, out the first base side of the field, into the parking lot. Jesse ranges over, moving around a lot out there. Leday hits one deep, hits
Is it
one
gonna
back,
be?
and it's gone!
Wow, Andrew Leday with a 2-run shot, and he was kind of due for something like that, but I think Taylor Briner knew better to put that placement of the ball there as he's pitching to the best hitter in the league last year and so far this year.
Yeah, that screwball worked its way back out into the middle of the plate, and Andrew recognized screwball right away, kind of knew where it was going to end up, put a good swing on it, and put it over the outstretched arms of Weber into the Garden of Serenity to give the Cajuns a 4-run lead here in the last inning.
How is he so good?
As Roosh going the other way, they haven't played two defenders on the infield opposite field. Scouting report in on Roosh. And a second out. Here's Bo Evans, who hit a grand slam in his last plate appearance to give the Cajuns a 2-run lead and flip the script here in game number 3. Bo really showing some confidence at the plate here tonight, and who can blame him? Screwball.
Good pitch by Briner.
You can see Briner kind of releases that screwball out in front of his body a little bit. Different tactic than most of the screwball pitchers in this league. A lot of the pitchers launch their screwball from way up over their head, but Taylor kind of pushes the ball from like he's throwing a dart, not a ball. Good pitch, good play, and here comes 97 into the strike zone. He's lucky there was a strike zone in his way, otherwise that would have been a shorted throw. But here we go, Snappers looking for the sweep, but they got their work cut out for them. They're a grand slam away, and with the way the night has gone, Trench, it's not out of the realms of possibility here.
This game is not over by any means. You have Nathan Roosh on the mound. He hasn't been in a position like this in a minute, going against a very, very fearful, you got to fear these guys, the Taylors, the Webers. Who knows what could happen with that couple runners on. a single, and all of a sudden, what are you doing, Chad? What are you doing?
Looks like Brandon Gregg is going to lead off this last inning here. What do we got for a lineup, Matt? What's the okay, pinch hitting in the 7 hole. So this is Scott Labrato's spot in the lineup. Don't forget, the Snappers decided to bat 7 this game. So
I mean, it produced 7 runs.
You're right.
What I'm saying?
You can't say, yeah, I agree that I'm not saying, but now the 7 hole's up, and then they could really use a base runner for the top of this order as they're chasing 4.
I mean, the Cajuns, they haven't been able to close teams out. They should have definitely 2 more wins under their belt.
They stole one from us.
I'm just saying,
of the
okay,
season,
but still, Cajuns collapse in the 6th inning to up 7-2. A 6-run lead in the 1st. They couldn't do anything.
Yeah,
They've got to close it out.
Yep.
He gets bailed out on that one, Chad. That could have been...
Almost got to go up there taking down by 4 here. Any base runner is monstrous right now. Need 3 base runners before they can be in that home run to tie it territory.
What a pitch by Roosh. I didn't think that was going to come back.
From our angle, that looked like it was way inside. Let's check out that replay here, Trench. Let's see what that looks like.
What?
Oh, beautiful pitch.
Nastiness.
Oh, the Cajuns might have another pitcher here in their bullpen that nobody really knows about right now. Maybe they're setting him up to be the closer. That's the way it looks. Oh, there
Throws
it is
the
again.
identical pitch inside and left. You can hear Ryan. That's his brother. That's my brother.
Well, now Taylor's behind the 8 ball a little here. Good take there.
Yeah, you don't want to throw it up to Taylor. If there was any ball you're going to throw, you want it to be exactly the pitch that you got that strike on.
Yeah, tough to execute that one again, but he has thrown it twice this inning. Let's see what he comes up with here on 1-2. He goes for it. Taylor, not all of it there, and his brother Ryan ranges over, makes an easy catch, and the Snappers are down to their final out here in Game 3. They'll win this series tonight regardless, as they won each of the first 2 games. Here's Shane Weber's last at-bat at Hideaway Field, unless something crazy happens here. Shane Weber goes under the knife tomorrow for ACL surgery. He's had a bum knee for quite some time and decided it was time.
I mean, if this dude's playing on a bum knee and putting up the numbers like that, could you imagine him full health next season?
Yeah, we'll hopefully see that in, come August, come September, with him back at full strength. But right now, if he wants to leave an impact here on Hideaway Field, he's got to do something on this pitch. Good fight there. These hitters are a little weary of that inside corner as they've had it tinked on them several times in the last 2 innings by Roosh. Kind of overprotecting in there a little bit. Another 1-2 pitch to Weber. It's hard. It's hot.
Do it. Big win for the Cajuns right there.
Nathan Roosh comes in 6
Where's
up,
he been?
6 down, man. He retires all 6 batters he faces, and the Cajuns get a much-needed Game 3 win to salvage this series and get their record to 11-10. The Snappers find themselves 7-14.
Chad, I'm going to let you do the last interview just because I'm fighting a screaming headache.
Okay, buddy, get out of here. I got you. Go get some rest. Thanks a lot, Trench Pacone.
See you guys
in the booth.
on Monday, I believe. Loved having you guys around. See you guys.
Oh, look at this. I just got handed the Cajuns lineup for Game 3. How good is that? They just had Lede, Roosh, Evans, Michael, Nathan Roosh, Nielsen. Yeah, there it is. I got the lineup now. We'll stream that line a little better. We have those lineups earlier. I know these teams changed their lineups Game 1 to Game 2 to Game 3, and they're only required to announce their opening game lineup by noon of that game day. So we know those coming in. Well, we'll recap the night again. A 3-1 win by the Snappers in game number 1. Brandon Gregg got the start, walked out 2 batters. Jonathan Wilson came in through 6 innings and also hit a 2-run bomb in the 5th to break a 1-1 tie and give the Snappers that 3-1 win. Game 2, the Cajuns came out hot. 6 runs in the top of the 1st, but the Snappers picked away, and Briner had a big game, and they tied it at 6 in the last inning. And they were able to put a 3-spot up in the top of the 7th to take a 9-6 lead. The Cajuns answered with 2 quick runs in the bottom of the 7th. Snappers were able to bear down and get that win 9-8. Game 3, we had a wild one. Taylor led that game off with a solo bomb. Cajuns got 3 in the bottom of the inning, I believe, or by the bottom of the second. It was 3-1. In the top of the third, the Snappers tied it up. Grand slam by Briner to make it 7-3. Cajuns got a couple right back, and then a 2-out grand slam by Bo Evans to give them a 9-7 lead. 2-run home run in the last inning for some insurance by Bo Evans again to the opposite field, and the Cajuns hold on 11-7. Give that save to Nathan Roosh in that last game. 6 up, 6 down. What do we got going on with the voting here? Briner and Weber battling. Get your votes in. Who's going to win this? Briner, Weber. No better duo in this league. Maybe we should just get them both up here. Going to lock in Briner. I'm going to call Briner and Weber up here. Let's have a party in the booth tonight. It's Weber's last game. I got a lot of people in the chat that want to see Shane up here, and I don't blame you, and I'm not going to deny you that right. Let's go Taylor and then Shane. Taylor first, Shane second. Do a couple of 2-minute interviews here. Yep, we got the vote in for Briner, but we're going to let Weber come up and say goodbye afterwards. I'll get Taylor here right now. Here he is. Taylor Briner, 2 quick wins tonight. Couldn't hold on to game 3. Taylor, let's talk about the obvious to start here. Your arm, what's going on down there? You're shaking it all night long. It's definitely sore a little bit.
Well, it's very sore. I don't know if you guys can see this on the back side here, but I'm only 7 weeks out of breaking it, so it's still real fresh, and you can see the bone still sticking up a little bit. It's just not fully healed. Like, I still have the remnants of a broken hand. It's just not all the way back yet.
Yeah, I mentioned to the viewers that you were a little more nervous tonight with the cast off than with the cast on. The cast provided you some mental protection at least, and now it's kind of exposed out there, and you were a little nervous. I saw you in the outfield a couple times, but you felt okay out there, clearly.
Yeah, absolutely. There was definitely the dive between me and Harley. If you watch the replay, you'll see me tuck the arm away. Like, I was very shy on the arm. The last thing I want is to spend 6 weeks in a cast and then re-break it the week I get back out of it.
So let's talk about your big home run there. I know you guys didn't win game 3, but you had about a 45-second wait in between that 3-2 pitch. The Cajuns were kind of egging you on a little bit. They wanted you back in the box. It looked like you were shaking off a little bit of pain. What was going on there?
Yeah, you know, the swings and misses are what hurt the most out there right now. And I swung big on the pitch before it, and it's late in the game. I've taken a lot of swings. I told these guys that when I'm taking T-work right now, I have about 30 swings full power, and then my hand's too sore to keep going anymore. Like, I'm just not fully recovered yet. And so it hurts a lot to swing and miss. It hurts a lot to swing at all. But, I mean, the doctor said the bones were together. It's just going to be sore for a couple more weeks.
All right, how about let's break into one last question here. Shane Weber, you guys lose him for the season right now. Is such a big player to fill in for. What are you guys planning? How you got some plans to overcome this?
Hit a bunch of nukes. I don't know if we have anything beyond that.
Ryan Murphy had some good at-bats tonight.
Absolutely.
I think you're going to have to put him in the lineup immediately. You've definitely been looking for some of that bottom of the order presence, which you guys have lacked all season long. Maybe he can be a good 5 or 6 hitter.
Absolutely.
Well, that's a good thing. You guys.
I think between him and David Harley going off the way that he has been, I think that's going to kind of fill in a lot of the gaps that Shane will leave. I mean, the Snappers will never be the Snappers without Shane Weber in the lineup, but I think we're going to be able to fill in and get a lot of series wins and put ourselves back in playoff contention.
All right, Taylor. Well, go get some ice on that hand and get healed up for next week. Great games tonight, man. Good series win.
Absolutely. Thank
Snappers move to 7-14. Cajuns hang on for game 3 to stay at 11-10. I got Shane Weber coming up to the booth now. You guys say your goodbyes to Weber for the season. We're going to make Shane Weber the head umpire for the rest of this season. Anytime he wants to come down and be that lead umpire, he is in. Shane, how are you, man, tonight? Pissed. Game 3, you guys couldn't hang on there, huh?
Lost us the game.
Yeah, they were kind of on to you there. It looked like in game 3.
Just a couple bad pitches here and there, but that's how it goes.
How's the knee?
Oh, it's the same as it's been for 10 years.
Damn, man, that's a big decision for you to go get this surgery done.
No, it's going to be great. I'm excited. I mean, it's just probably too big of a deal we're making out of it, but I've had a lot of fun at this field, so it'll be sad to see it go, but really excited for the next field, the next process we have going. It'll be fun.
Well, let's talk about game 1 a little bit. I didn't talk to Taylor about that. Jonathan Wilson came in with 2 on, nobody out in the first. threw a complete game from there, and hit the 2-run home run to win that game
I
for
mean,
you guys.
he's one that should be up here talking instead of us. His ERA tonight is putting him in the. He's got to be in the running for Player of the Week.
Man, you start looking at his pitching numbers, and let me take a quick peek. He came in with a 2.45 ERA, a 1.32 WHIP, and that just went down a little more tonight.
Yeah.
He had a great night out there.
And he gave up one. What did he give it? The 1 run to, or he gave up 4 runs tonight. But it was. I don't know if they're all earned. There were a couple errors here and there. We had to look at the books and see what happened.
Yeah, we had that box scores should be imported now. If you guys want to go to that website, those box scores are up already. You can take a peek at them. They're not official and finalized yet, but our iPad guy tonight, top notch, so they are right on point. Shane Weber, you guys have any questions for Shane here before he leaves?
Hope not.
Hope not. He doesn't want to answer any questions. Come on, we need one good question for Shane. It's the 278 average you're closing out with the season.
Who had 5 home runs
Who did?
this week? Someone said 5 home runs, Player of the Week.
Max on Monday, I believe, had
Oh,
5
yeah.
home runs.
I
Yeah.
didn't see that. Yeah, so that's never mind. Wilson's not in the running.
Yeah, no, Max had a big game, and that's a couple times this season that somebody on a Monday has exploded and put that Player of the Week out of reach right away.
Fair enough. I didn't even see it.
Well, Weber, it is a pleasure having you in this league. We
Yeah.
hope you come down. You're
I'll be
invited
back.
any
I'm
night.
I'm not leaving.
I
I'm
know you're
coming
not,
back.
but we're gonna miss you,
I
man.
just got to go to get surgery and come. I'll be back the day after my surgery. I'll be hanging out on the sidelines. We'll be playing the Legends. I'll be out here cheering my team on.
Can you umpire with crutches?
Absolutely.
You can. Beautiful, beautiful.
I can run the clock up here up top. I don't need to move for that.
We'll have Shane race across the outfield with his crutches on, and we'll time him one of these days
I'm
for
gonna
you
be-
guys as a little.
I'll be quick too. You'll see.
Excellent, excellent. Shane
man.
Weber here. Congrats, man.
Thanks, buddy.
Good friend of mine. Great player here in PLW. All-Star season 1 and 2. And we look forward to getting him back as soon as possible. Great night here next week. I know we have my Lightning at the bottom of the standings at 5 and 16 against the Ones at the top of the standings at 16 and 5. We look to give them a battle on Monday night somehow. Look for Ryan Chen against Jake Purdy in game 1. And what a great week of wiffle ball we had here. A lot of sweeps. Good night to end it here Friday. Take care, PLW Nation. Chad out.